it that way. And while it was hallucinating a lot of things here, like 2D, it should write 10D or whatever, or 6D or string theory. But from the graphics and the design, you saw what it did. The right one I did not like really much, so was too generous with the graphics. But the left one, with every one of our theories, could be in string form, blah, blah, blah. So why not? Yeah. And I didn't like it, so I said, make it more easy, make more individual graphics, make it black and white, that it is really easy to print, and it came up with this one. And that was much better. Especially the left one was close to the idea which I had. So this, what is on the left here, which I circle, is what I talked to you and
but it looks like it will take place in Belgium.
Oh yeah,
Atomium.
Yeah, forget about the conditions and all that. It is all about the design. And from a graphical point of view, that was exactly what I wanted. It was some graphics of some curves. It was some Atomium stuff. It was the hexagonal graphics, which looks like the Atomium, but in 2D, with a background, which is fine. It had the golden ratio spiral here. It had Budapest on there. And instead of the capital B here, they should write TEGS with a dot, like what Christopher did in its first one. And I wanted it in the bottom in big colors to write HTTP text signs on WebNet. And you see on the right, he tried to write HTTPS. He had a precise text, and he couldn't render the precise text. He tried to hallucinate the text into the graphics and made it completely wrong. So what the thing does, it has no intermediate stages. It immediately tries to paint instead of rendering what he hallucinated to do. So this isn't the way to do it with. So this is an image generator for a realistic looking image, but not for these kind of vector graphics. It's just a mismatch of what the AI can do and what it cannot do. But again, from an inspiration point of view, it could have been worse. And the real problem here is that this is not black on white. It is still white on black on red, which is a 2-color print. And if you have a 2-color print, you can also make a 4-color print for the price and then print on it whatever you want to. So this is not fish and not meat. This is, I don't know. So I tried to refine it a third time, and we got this. And this is completely off track. So I told it look more high than wide because the T-shirt is more high than wide. And now it completely fucked it up. It looks like a spider net on the left side with graphics with no sense. That makes absolutely no sense what it did. So I told it makes absolutely no sense what it did. And I got then this one. And this is actually, without me asking, printed on a T-shirt so you would see what it looks like. And when you think of it, and remove the 3 here on the bottom from here to here, then that part is actually not bad at all. It has the high-end physics, Budapest, TEGS 2025, and it would be rendered correctly, of course. You could have put here where the graphics is a text logo. You could have put this smaller and put a text logo here. This shouldn't be a repetition of the left side and so on. And the things here could be Greek characters of constants of nature or whatever it did is not completely wrong. If you would combine this in the center with the graphics of the first one, it is not at all not printable. So when I give that to a designer and said, take that as inspiration, give me something like that, just precise, please, then the designer would know what I wanted to do. But all in all, the only one I could work with is the second one. And the first one, while very inspirational, is really a cool graphics. Looks like in the 60s or so.
It looks like for whiskey.
Yeah.
I have a similar T-shirt for I don't know what whiskey, but
yeah, but the graphics and the things is very precise for a first shot. It's not bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this with the planets here and the physics, so the imagination, what it should do, including the earthquakes where it showed the mountains, and I told him a couple of things, what to include and what not to include. And for a first shot, not bad at all, actually, not bad at all. Of course, you should not write challenging Einstein and things like that on a T-shirt. It's of course bullshit, because then you don't sell these T-shirts or you cannot make new physics when you start.
But you must take, was war das, Vorsicht, because there are different sizes, and if you have the smallest size, and you print the same on all in the same size, it may be that it looks at S is too
yeah,
big.
The fonts can yeah, so this is what you get. And so I'm not a t-shirt designer, nor I'm a designer at all. I have done my logos and things for my companies in the past myself, and I was quite good in that, but it took me a couple of weekends to make an individual logo. Like my 42x10 logo is professional designed and costed a lot of money for the card and the paper and everything, and I delegated that. And this is difficult to say what is the net ratio effect of such a thing. You could have.
But I thought that you will present an iSpace T-shirt. There are you have.
I showed you a perfect iSpace.
Yes. Yes.
I give you one. I have one here. So this is a self-designed iSpace T-shirt. And it looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
If not mirrored, it reads quantum of time.
No, but you made some
with a spacey font. It's very
pictures
simple.
with your no, not pentagram. I saw your geometric.
Yeah, I could also do my fractal thing on an iSpace T-shirt as it
and if you once if you were if you have been in hospital, you had a background with iSpace. You know what you used at this time.
I'm not sure what you're after, Gerd. Tell me in German.
Here in this wie heißt das hier?
Ich sag's auf Deutsch.
Ja, hier in dem, da weiß ich das jetzt auch nicht. Ja, wo sind wir hier jetzt? Wo sind wir jetzt hier?
I cannot follow you, so that's the problem now.
Ja, in dieser Konferenz hier, in this conference, once time you have been in hospital and you took place in this meeting.
From hospital?
Really? Yes, and then you used a special background.
Oh, you mean my fractal background of my old?
Yes. Can you show it?
Yes. This is a pure fractal. It's not bad at all. Yeah, this is a very beautiful image. Yes, I know. Yeah.
Can you show it?
Not on this machine.
Once again?
I don't have the files transferred over yet. I really don't have it on this laptop. The laptop is new and I have not. There are 2 terabytes are not yet copied over. This is part of my problem. What is really necessary? I need to copy 2 terabytes from the old laptop to the new one. Not 2, but it's 1 or 2 terabytes, including all virtual machines. And I have now copied over the really critical things. The mail is over, the money application, the tax application, the most important things and difficult things are over. The development environments have copied over, but not all the background information and not the virtual machines. And
but you can deliver it later if you have found it. I'm interested in to look at it again.
Yeah, if you want to see it again, you can log in from a different machine if that is possible, and then you can see it because then on the different.
Oh, it's very good. Yes.
If you think that helps, I can do that. Okay, then I'll try to log in with the old machine. Let me see if that is good. Okay. Why do you think that? Do you really think we should put an abstract fractal, which has not directly anything to do with it, as the basis of a text image? Is that what you're telling?
Yeah, can we do a simple test like this?
Yeah, maybe. Absolute, Rajan. That is not simple. That is actually looking good. Yeah. So this is
okay, Laszlo. Take a note of this. This is a possible thing for your
without
t-shirt.
the underscore, please, between TechNet Earth but otherwise, yes, yeah.
No, yeah, that's because it just puts it. I mean, this is a text. but it just shows the address. I mean, just
No, of
this
course,
step.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is simple. I like the text logo especially. The text logo looks good, as you see here in a round YouTube with the YouTube logo on it. This is really cool. This is good advertisement. And below here, where below the physics text 2025 conference Budapest text is a space where you could put the physical URI, where to type into the browser would have space enough, for example. Yeah. And otherwise it's simple, but what to put on top of it, I mean, we could also be very, very aggressive and nasty, and we shouldn't do that, but we could do that and put our faces on top of that T-shirt. And just everybody is on the conference, randomly place the faces on the T-shirt in a bubble or whatever, or a cloud or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you have faces of our faces in the cloud and this text below. Why not? Yeah, sure. We could do it. But you still need a designer, Rajan. You need a designer because I cannot do it. You cannot do it. When you do that professionally, you get really lousy looking T-shirts when you give a wrong design. I tested that already in the past. You get a really bad print quality. You have to optimize the design. That is not at all trivial. And when you have not, when I did for a birthday present for my friend, and he became 60, so I wanted to have only 2 T-shirts. And I had to pay 150 euros for that, for 2 T-shirts, because I paid 100 euros for the design check that I was sure at the time of his birthday, the T-shirts would be ready, there would be no printing mistakes, everything is fine, because the designer whom I talked to on this day on the phone and the webpage understood what I wanted. He knew exactly what I wanted, but I had to pay him to make it.
So, Laszlo, can we just put this text in the T-shirt? Laszlo?
What is on the screen now?
Yeah,
that is the simple.
Yeah,
that seems good. Perhaps we have to change a bit, and it seems very good.
That's fine. That's fine.
And
so we just only this.
We can make in different form.
Yes.
Only this text, TechNet or physics text 2055 conference Budapest. That is good, not?
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And the before and excuse me, but the before showing design themes are very good, but I think it's after the conference we can make other T-shirts too if you want.
Yeah,
because all design presented by Christian was very, very, very interesting and very
yes. We can do it after the conference. So maybe we can do email sometime, mathematics if possible. Yeah.
Why don't we write text really big so the text is still text in square form is a really interesting
something on.
Now you're chopped off again. I unfortunately, Laszlo, I cannot hear you. I have to see if I find
and without TechNet or global and only text and physical text conference, it's only enough, and it's also enough.
Yeah. So we can do like this. We can have like a what you call diamond type thing. So physics, then text will be big letter, then everything else will be little smaller, like that, like a diamond type thing. We can do that. I mean, if it is possible. I think simple things are easier and maybe not too expensive. So whatever is possible, just do that.
I think that will not be expensive.
Yeah,
as it seems.
So make it simple. Start with a simple thing like this one. It's a good. I think it's an example. You can start some T-shirts with that.
And perhaps we have to put a symbol, one symbol, exact cubic.
Oh, what's difficult?
or atomic or something. We put there and it's enough.
Yeah, I think so. We start with that. Let it be nice. Let it be good quality and things like that. That's important. That is visible. We don't want
The
it to
T-shirt,
be
I think it's I have good quality.
okay.
But you will decide after texting them, because after everything after is good. For me it's good, but you will see.
Okay. So we'll start with this.
The price is very good. The price is very good.
Okay, $20 to $22, right? Selling price.
No, around $10, $2 will be our price if.
Simple. Then we can do like $20 selling price.
Not selling price. 22 for selling 22. Price. Yes.
Yeah, with shipping and everything. Yeah.
But you must pay your high import price tariff.
No, you don't need to pay you don't need to pay $22. We don't need to pay that price.
We not.
Yeah, so I think we are almost deciding. We will just ask Christopher also for the final approval. I think we just go with this simple thing, Laszlo, and then you can start some initial samples. You can send to us, and then
please to send me a picture about this simple form, because it is on the monitor we have now. And we on the T-shirts it have to put somewhat different form, somewhat changed form.
This wrong on this
how the BMW also made some design, and it's simple and it's look very good. I sent before 2-3 weeks ago the BMW T-shirt design.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Please do not use a brown background. Yes.
Yeah, and do not use the logo on the left. Put the logo round or square on top over the message and make it big. You have space on the T-shirt. Make the tags big on heaven. Yeah. So let me show the screen again. What I mean from the first what Christopher presented, that you know what I mean.
Yeah. Let me get this off.
I share my screen.
Okay.
And can you see the screen?
No.
Let me put it on. Let me put it on.
Oh, no.
Okay. Let me. Yeah, that's simple. Yeah.
That's the simple logo text dot in a black square, whatever. And when the T-shirt is red, I don't know how you get the black and the white. So when you want the black and the white, you would get a red text on a black thing. You need 2 colors to do that. Otherwise, this shirt must be white. It doesn't work. This is important to understand, okay? Where do you get the black and the white from?
Yes, when you need a white color, it's not printable. Yes. Also, 4-color printing.
It is printable, but not easily. This is not at all such a design. The typical designer will immediately go to 4-color print and just print it in 4-color. Because
it's a 5-color printing.
Yeah, whatever. This is details I leave to them. The important point is you showed a horizontal string and your text was wrong. So the first line should contain TechNet Earth Global Science. And what it was written is TechNet_Earth Global. So
that's because it just shows from the stream.
Yeah, wherever you took it from now, I couldn't see that. So
no, it just
TechNet Earth Global Science with that font, and the second should be exactly what it was written. I don't remember what was there exactly, but the Budapest was in the wrong context. It should be TEGS Budapest 2025 physics conference or something like that. We have written that in the posters already. You just need to look in the posters. In the posters, it's perfectly written from Christopher. This is very easy. We don't need anything other. And then make a simple text and print it. But again, when we print black on red, black on blue, we just have the most simple thing. And even a copy shop could print us the t-shirt. It would be completely trivial. Anyone could print that. But if you go to a design, whatever the design, including this cool looking YouTube video, this looks cool with the circle, with the text, what you showed there. No doubt, this is cool. But when you do it, you have to immediately go to 4-color print, immediately. You cannot render that without, if you're not a designer. You cannot do that in vector Photoshop as an SVG graphics. It's too difficult, believe me in that. And the color separation aside in that. The really problem is 50 t-shirts is not mass print, but 50 t-shirts is not nothing. So this is not just making one t-shirt with a laser printer and then with the iron gluing it on top of the t-shirts. Normally you need the print engine to do that for 50. And you get 2 for free because they send them to you that you see, is it this what you wanted? Is there anything to correct? And so on. In Germany, this is called an Andruck. I don't know what that is the correct word in English for that. But normally when you print a lot of things, you get a pre-print, how it would look like, and then you give an authority and said, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. There is no more typo in there. Please do that, okay? So this is the normal process. And now you have TechNet Earth Global Sciences. The second line, instead of that, what was printed before, that was
so now is the second line.
TEGS 2025 Budapest conference, and it should just read probably TEGS 2000 TEGS Budapest 2025 physics conference. It's just the English words are just flipped somehow.
Yeah, I can write. Let me write that.
Yeah. But that is not the problem. So that could be a good text horizontally over the stomach of the t-shirt, but the logo should be on top of that and much, much bigger. That is what I would do. Use the space you have. And even the round one looks good. I think the round one with the whatever that is, a little bit olive colored surrounding over the black background of the white text. When you would that scale up from a designer in round on the top of your breast, that would really look cool. Everybody would know what it is. You have the TechNet Earth Global text, you have the Budapest Physics Conference on it, and you can take a small thin fonted URI on the bottom even. That humans can see when you go to HTTPS this and this and this, and you go to the conference, as we have our link on the other posters, all right. And that was comparatively simple. And what I'm trying to say is, when the logo is that simple, you don't need a designer, because then any engineer in the print department of the t-shirt maker will go to its local Photoshop and type that for you. That is so simple that anyone can redesign that for you on the t-shirt without going to a professional designer. You can do that with a web automation tool of a t-shirt printing automatic tool, probably even. So this doesn't look difficult to me. And the YouTube logo looks really good also in that. And TEGS is a YouTube group, so why not include that YouTube logo? It looks good like that. With the red.
Yeah.
But if we do it like with the red, then you need already 4-color print again, or it wouldn't work, because this is, even if it looks like a multi-color plotter design, which is vectorized, you have red in it, you have white in it, you have this olive in it, and you have the background.
But the YouTube logo contains also a white color.
Yeah, so you need full color printing, or it doesn't work. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Nevertheless, if you do the characters that big on a t-shirt, then it will not wash out. It will not wash out because the characters are big enough.
Just try to put 2 lines, but I cannot do this.
I wouldn't do 2 lines, Rajan. I do 1 line exactly like you did before, and make a small thin font below for the actual URI of the conference.
So can we have this one, TechNet Global Sciences, TEGS Budapest 2025 Physics Conference?
Yeah, but why do you write conference in capital letters? You don't need to repeat TechNet Earth Global Science. This is already one line above.
Excuse me. And And what do you think? Excuse me. And what do you think on TEGS and Budapest 2025 physics conference is enough? We don't need to repeat a lot of times.
This is what I said this is exactly what I said. Rajan can, for technical reasons, not change the TechNet Earth global text in the first line because it's part of the screenshot of his.
We can the TechNet Earth global. We can.
You can use area narrow.
Under the breast. Under the breast. The TechNet Earth global with other place, and the example on the breast with the high letters.
Okay, let me put this one. See how we'll do permutation combination and figure out.
Try area narrow.
No, you don't need the second text. Just don't repeat it. I have more than enough space to do that. The font is also good. It is reflecting the proper technical intention.
TechNet Earth Global Sciences Budapest. Anything to remove or add here?
Yeah, of course. You should write TechNet Earth Global Sciences in the headline, where at the moment TechNet_Earth Global is written, and that might be the account, right?
No. That's because the StreamYard just puts that. Don't.
Yeah, this is the StreamYard account, so this is of course nothing to do with that. So you cannot use the StreamYard UI as a graphics design tool, of course. Yeah. So I know what you're doing there, but this is
you just do what is
a smaller font area.
You need to do that in the graphics.
No, it's not so as long. The text.
Any designer will understand what. This is really trivial. Type the text, show the graphics as an example, tell the designer it should look like that, and let the work to the designer, because he knows much better to do that than we all together. This is a completely trivial design for any designer to do. Completely trivial.
Okay. Yeah. Just this thing. I mean, this gives you what text you should put, but actual things you have to do. I mean, here I cannot show that here. Of course.
You cannot show that live, and it's not necessary that you show, because it should be completely clear what's going on there. This is trivial.
I think this should be fine. What is in the white rectangular box should be fine, and you can probably put this text thing on the side if you need, if it's possible. But that's it. You disregard the top line.
I'm not sure what fonts, Christopher, or you used in the YouTube logo for the TEGS characters there. This is not a standard font. This is it's a good-looking font. I like it, but I have no idea what it is. When you find out what it is, you can give the designer a precise. Especially the G looks really good. This is a logo type font, which is very easy to recognize. I like that. Looks really good.
Yeah, so we'll also talk with Christopher, let him look into it, and he will make the final, he'll be able to send the final thing.
In minutes, because that is really easy.
Yeah. So, this Christopher, look into that. I will see whether Christopher, let me text him in the thing, whether he can.
The round one here with the text and the YouTube logo might even look better than the square one from his poster, but I'm not sure. So it would leave that up to the designer, what looks better than on the t-shirt, but probably both look good.
Okay.
It's about recognition. I mean, think what the t-shirt shall do. When we have the t-shirt on while we walk through the street, we should recognize we're from the same team. And that's the main intent. And the bigger the font, the bigger the thing, and the less understandable what's it all about, the better. Because people see the intent. You belong together and come here. How are you? What are you doing here? Oh, you're doing a physics conference, blah, blah. Because you get into contact with the people, and that is the intention of such a marketing t-shirt. When we had the Wolfram style logo, with the Wolfram Wolf logo on top of the red t-shirts and nothing else, just the Wolfram logo, it worked brilliantly. People didn't know what it is. Some even complained that
which Wolfram logo do you want to use? it changed sometimes in the last year.
Not
Yes.
the icon of Wolfram. I'm talking about the wolf. The Wolfram logo. This is a font. You can scale it up. It's the wolf. It's a small wolf. Is an emoji character. You can.
But they have their own font.
Yes, they have their own font, but they changed their own font in the last 10 years, 10 times about it. I don't like it. My private font in Wolfram is that of version 9.1. And they had a very specific font where I created the ice cream logo for it.
Maybe the T-shirt company does not have this font.
No, but you can give them a specific font to print it, so it doesn't matter. You can vectorize that easily out of a pixel graph and print the outlines from an automated vectorization. This is absolutely no problem. You take the pixel from the web page, scale them up, auto vectorize them, and cut them in. Photoshop is doing that in 3 seconds.
Okay, so I think
Photoshop.
Yeah. Let's text. I don't know whether he will respond, Christopher. Our text live stream. Yeah, if you see, if you are watching.
I mean, when this is the last date where we need to give precise information to Laszlo that he has the engine to make it in time, and I think that is close to the truth, then we should not discuss around what to do or not to do. We should really keep it simple. And you have seen from my AI designs that are not at all simple. They look good, whatever, but to make it professional, you need a designer. And we're not, let's say, in the monetary position to say, yeah, but another 2,000 euros or not for a designer is no problem. So I wouldn't do that. We could have better purpose for that kind of money, in my opinion.
Oh, yes.
The T-shirts are not free either. I mean, I'm guaranteeing now for about 2,400 euros for the conference hotel, where I get a fraction of any one of you, which is about, I don't know what the others are paying, and if you have talked to them, what they have to pay or not, so to the offline contenders or so, we'll see. But for the online, not online, for the on-site present persons, I think we can easily charge that with 300, 400 euro each per person. And Gerd and me, of course, have the hotel because we stay longer there. From a position to pay, we have already booked the flights, which are already, everything is charged and so on. But I calculated it, I think last time when I was with Gerd together here in my house, and it was 3,300 euros, which we pay both also for the whole operation as such, which is a fair price for nearly a week Budapest with flight and everything, and a good hotel. And but we have not another 3,000 to just make nice T-shirts while we're there. So this is not the physics party mode where we are in. I think we should focus on the topic.
Yeah, let's see whether Christopher responds. But so that's one thing we can find out. I think Christopher will have the. I think Christopher has put this one. Let's see. I think it's Christopher. It should be GeoIntuition. Who is? Oh, I think it's Laszlo. Text logo. Laszlo, right? You are the one who is putting it.
It should be
text logo. Text Budapest 2055 physics conference, and rest we can write in other place something about net global physics and everything.
But there's a typo.
That is not. I have made a mistake because I to write.
Oh, I know what you mean. You put text, this one, you put text, and then that's the logo. You put that. That's what you are saying. I mean, disregard these things. These are just okay. So after text, it is Budapest 2025 physics, and that's it, right? Text Budapest 2025 physics. That's what you are saying, right? Laszlo? Laszlo is frozen, I think. Laszlo, can you? You think
chopped
you
off
frozen?
and lost the connection.
It's frozen.
Frozen. He's frozen. Okay, I think that's what he means.
Yeah.
He means text.
Now it's back.
Okay, Laszlo, let me explain what you are trying to say, and you tell us whether that's correct. You saying just put text, the logo, and then put Budapest 2025 physics. That's it.
Physics conference.
Physics conference.
I forgotten to write down.
Okay, that's fine. So just put the text logo, this one on the side, right? The one you are showing on the side.
We have to arrange. That is very important in this way. But we have to arrange in a good form, and after that we can write everything else with other place. Example on the breast, hair. I think. I will make a little picture with about it, and we will see if it's work. But I think will work because the text logo is very good.
Okay, and let's put Budapest 2025 Physics Conference. That's it.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that should be fine. That's simple enough. We'll get the final okay from Christopher also, but I think that's the best. I think we decide. We will go with that.
Today evening, I will make I will have some small examples and we'll decide what is the better design.
By Monday, I think by Monday you can start. Tell your printer to start this simple thing, because we don't want to delay it unnecessarily. You will keep dragging. I think we'll start with the simple thing, and then based on the samples, then how people feel about it. Let's test that. How you can ask other people opinion and things like that. With each of us have our own people, our family and friends, and they will tell us, how to change that. The next batch of the T-shirts, then we'll do the improvised design, things like that, and then that's for a conference. And then after conference, then Christian will have his things with all the nice graphics, hopefully through Mathematica, if he has enough time. And then, we'll continue with that. I think right now this simple thing is good.
Excuse me, Rajan, excuse me, but Christian shows some examples, and I think that's very important to make the simple forms of the T-shirt. But I think from the shown examples of the Christian, we should be do other forms, because it was present presented on the YouTube, and it will be taken. Do you understand, Christian, what I am referring to?
Christian is, I think, sending something. Okay.
Is my script presented? That was not the intention. I was preparing something in the background, but you shouldn't see that, right? I just working on a small design with the actual red and the actual font with the final text in my Pages document, which I could create a PDF and send it immediately to while we're talking here. So please go ahead. I listen to you, and it just need 5-10 minutes to done. Yeah, basically.
I think what Laszlo's put is good to start with. Text logo, then just put Budapest 2025 Physics Conference. That should be fine. And you have this logo on the side.
Yeah, but I wanted to include the actual final URIs because Laszlo needs something to give to the printer. So when we are discussing hours and hours, we need some text on a page.
Sure.
Written.
Yeah. The proper font and everything. Yes.
And the final link, and it needs to be the correct link, and so on. And of course, Christopher did all that, and multiple times so, and he did a good job. Unfortunately, he changed the design layout multiple times without full understanding of mine why he did that. Because the first one was so brilliant that I would have printed it as it is on the T-shirt, as it is. That was, if we make a 4-color print, we can use the first event of what is currently the document on ResearchGate called TEGS under conference, under poster, under 4.pdf. And that's it. We could directly print it. Just the green would be a little bit more rusted, and the 2025 would go on one line, but it would work. It would work. So this is text 2025.science on the web.net. That means https text 2025 science on the web.net, and make that much smaller. That means text to about 18, smaller.
Oh, you are showing something, Laszlo.
No, that's what I mean. Do you see?
We can no. There's some problem. The camera. We cannot see it.
Okay. No problem. I will send on the picture. It seems it's very good, and I will make another. It seems it's very good, and that is work.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I think we have at least partially decided now. I think today we can, and then with Christopher finalizing it, I think Monday you should be able to start the process, because it should be simple enough. It won't be costly. The first batch of samples, we can go with this one, with the simple design. We finalize today, and then we'll move on. I think that's a good idea. That we'll each have 10. For example, for me, I will write down the small and not small, medium, large. Maybe I'll have all the samples. 1 small, 2 medium, 2 large, and then 1 extra large. So then I can add some more. Okay, so 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. Yeah, so 2 small, 3 medium, 3 large, and then 2 extra large.
And the printing shall grow with size.
Yes.
The size of printing must follow the size of the T-shirt.
Okay. And the color, the 2 small, you can have 2 different colors. And also, all of them can have 3, and different colors. So 3 different colors for the medium and large, 2 different colors for small and extra large. I think that should work out for me. So we'll have 10 altogether, and that should work. I think that's a good way to start. I feel okay now. With all of us able to come together. And of course, Christopher will make the make us the final thing. If Christopher also, the final decision can be made.
Is there Christopher? Is there on your? Is he?
No, he's. I texted him. He's not responding. So let me see whether he will pick up. I'm trying to call him now.
Because I have not heard anything of him for over a month.
Yeah. He right now, once in a while, he texts to me.
Yeah, because he has the most important part for the physics presentation. When we meet in this room and anything goes wrong on his side, we have no equipment we have backup to prepare to do the actual live streaming. Okay, that would be disastrous. So we need more contact with the next weeks, because that be sure that we have everything we need.
He's not picking up.
Backup equipment or something.
Yeah, he's not picking up.
Are we sure everything is working and is on track already, or do we have another thing we have to check for?
Yeah. So the other aspect, I was talking with Gerd. Gerd could be in charge of, because I am in chair. Christopher will be chair. Then Christian, you will be very busy with the IT thing, and then Laszlo will be very busy with the mic aspect. So Gerd will be in charge of. In general, he'll be in charge of. We can help him to welcome people and then note down their logo. I mean, their name, their affiliation, or their email address, phone number, and then in a few details that we'll finally decide on the 29th that we should.
I understand. I should put in my information, my email address, or what's.
Yeah, you are. No, I'm saying people who are coming in, to the conference. So you will be in charge, welcoming them, bringing, to the conference, and then ask them to write down. Maybe we can put a laptop, and the laptop they write down, they put all the information. We should have.
But it's a conference. And not
at
before.
The conference. At the conference.
Okay.
Not before.
I will bring my computer.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so we know who is there. We'll get a log of all the people, and then that will help us to contact people or send them any proceedings, things like that. Or last law went off. Okay, so that will be very helpful to keep track. And then if you have further conference, I'm hoping that we may either have in Germany, in Munich, like what Christian is saying, later on after 6 months or 1 year. I'm thinking that October 1st may be a good time. We'll discuss later, but that's a good time to go in Munich and then go to New Zealand, things like that. Let me see, Laszlo. Okay. But that's after the conference. I mean, just brainstorming that right now. But because when I talk about this, I will just at the end. We have the new person, Dr. Kurile, just before our panel discussion. So he may invite us for a conference, a virtual conference. Virtual conference there. We are every year we are putting. So he's already started a session for us. So I was session chairman last year. He may expand it. He will tell us that. So that's one possibility. And then the panel discussion, I want to finally conclude by saying that what we are going to do next. So in that brainstorming the idea that we'll discuss more on 29th, but of May, end of this month. If I say 29th, it's already clear because we are already in May. So 29th, we'll discuss when after I arrive. We have the lunch and the lunch at the later. So we'll arrange what we are going to do during the conference. And the panel discussion, I put the final thing myself, Christopher. Let's say summarizing everything. I would say that the next conference we can expect, uh, probably in Munich, and then after that New Zealand. So if possible, October 1st. That's something we can work out. But otherwise, next year, and then the New Zealand immediately after that. Either New Zealand or Munich next year. So that's just thinking aloud. Just thinking aloud, so we can discuss more about that. That's not a big problem for this conference. So yeah, so I think that's the idea. That only thing is that other aspect is presentation. I kind of briefly presented what I am going to do the last text or before that, along with the last law. Some changes I might make, and we can all, if you want to practice that, we can practice that. Our presentation. That will help us. Uh, you know during the conference. So we can have like next week, if somebody want to present, if you are ready with your PowerPoint or whatever, you can do the presentation, and then that way we get idea from everybody. Anything to change, edit, things like that. I also want to edit my thing. I might even present next time, but somebody else has already prepared. They can present their talk, and that way we are ready. Because next week will be 10th, and we are only at 2 more weeks. Actually, the 24th maybe. So 3 weeks possible. The 24th we will put everything together, and then we'll find out the logistics, how we are going to come there. And Laszlo said he can help us from the airport, things like that. I think you people don't have much problem. I arrived there on the 29th. You will probably arrive on 28th, so it should be okay. I think Laszlo will be there. So arranging things that Christopher already said that he has a big booking, so we can do all the IT things on the 29th, get everything set, and just transfer the thing to the hotel. When we arrive there, you will have better idea when they will give us the key for the hotel room, either in the morning or 29th evening or 30th morning. We'll get the key, and then we can set up that. And just going through the simulation, just simulation of how the conference is going to be. So I think I think we are set. We should feel comfortable doing that. And then we have the virtual people. Only the virtual people we have to arrange that. We have to give them the link. So I don't know. Christian and Christopher will know better when we can give the link.
It has to be tested, and we have not planned for any of a live test before.
Okay.
And I would have wished we had all the equipment in place, and not in a hotel, but in, for example, Christopher's room or anybody's room. When I said we simulate that and see, could we handle it? Is it working with the original equipment which we have in the back, which will fly to the hotel, so that we don't have too much improvisation in the seconds when this is really dangerous when we do that.
Yes.
If we would have no live streaming, we could do a lot of things and cutting later and whatever. It would have been absolutely no problem to cut a video of the whole day afterwards. But with a live thing, I think we need much more preparation than we had. And as I have no live experience, and Christopher was the only one who had in the past at least managed the TEGS very well, from the ongoing presentation of the original cutting a couple of years ago down to the current technology we use today with the StreamYard. I don't think when Christopher is not coming into the conferences quickly, we have a very dangerous road ahead of us. And
it's very challenging. live stream is very challenging.
Yeah, we are not able to handle it in a proper form, from my opinion. Everyone can make
So we will decide.
a stand and say, hey, this is our live presentation, but it will look really ugly. It will not be professional. There will be no light.
Yeah.
There will be nothing which you need, not a good sound. Really, this is much more difficult than you think.
Yeah. So what we can do is 29th we will make the final decision. If we are ready with live stream after testing, we'll go with that. Otherwise, we'll just record it and then put it later on. We'll just we'll make a recording of that. I'm sure we can make a recording of that and then post it, onto the YouTube like we have later on. If you are not fully
but
confident.
how would you do that then with the online participants? So that would be really awful.
No, the only way we have to do the same live stream YouTube. We have to do with them and then record everything and then put them. That's only other solution. If the other live streaming doesn't work.
Rajan, please try to contact Christopher and have him call me back or something at a convenient time that we can talk about the technical things.
Okay.
Anytime suitable for his time zone or whatever. He's not so far away from the time than you, so he could call me anytime daytime while I'm at work next week or so. But it makes me a bit nervous that we haven't heard from him in the last 4 weeks. And
okay. Yeah, I'll ask him to please talk with
was a bit too costly from the overall preparation, and the financial thing is completely on me for the hotel. Don't forget that. So when anything happens, we have a nice vacation there, but no conference. And
no, we will have conference. The only thing is that question of live stream versus just a recording. That's
we have a private conference of showing the physics to ourselves, which is not the same than the live stream physics conference. Not at all the same.
Yeah, but we post it and then later on people can comment. We'll try to stream it.
The things we have advertised on ResearchGate over the last 2-3 months, we cannot make a step back and say, hey, it's easier for us if we cut that manually and send it in a longer YouTube video. I mean, that was a primary decision, including Christopher, to do it live. And he
thinks he can handle it.
Only a person to handle the live streaming in the way we need it. I suggested with Ollie maybe doing it, but it went out of control because Ollie is not available due to his own studies. So he would have maybe been a good technology-wise juggling person helping us in the background should Christopher fail for whatever reason. But I don't think he will fall off. Even if he's very busy, I'm also very busy, but at least a couple of times I appear here, and it is really not a good sign when we don't know what he's doing and why he's not at least saying a minute, hi, I have no time today.
Okay, yeah, I
makes me worry just a little bit, okay?
Okay. During conference, yeah. Conference live streaming. So I will say Christian. Okay, wanted him to. Contact him, yeah, this week. As soon as possible. To arrange live stream or recording of the conference. So I'll just send this text to him. Hopefully he'll reply soon. So as far as the hotel that night, he has already reserved. As you know, the Indian restaurant. So that should be fine. And the following day, Only the technical details had to be filled in, tested, and T-shirt almost is ready. I would say, at least for now. You have to make the final. I think Laszlo has to work on that uh, to make the first batch of T-shirts. So I think we are okay. I think in that sense. The only technical details, yes, you have to fill in so that I mean, live streaming is the best. We just have to find out a way to do that.
But a
But
live stream with a camera, which is recording the people in front.
yes,
Okay.
especially see, the thing is that we can have two cameras. One is
Mm-hmm.
the presentation. People who are presenting. One camera should be there all the
Mm-hmm.
time. The other camera points to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time, when the presentation it will be there, but once in a while it will show the audience. That's how they do that. All the presentation I have seen. So we can do that once. So we switch between these two cameras. Mostly it will be focused on the presenter on the presentation stage. But then once in a while you scan the audience, see their reaction to it, how they are reacting and how they are participating, and that's good. So we know they are participating. So just two cameras should be enough,
Mm-hmm.
to
And there was one people who is switching the slides, or is
yes.
there a remote control?
Yeah, that's the other aspect. That's a good point, Gert, because we have to see whether we have to have our own laptop connected to the presentation screen. It will be a big
Mm-hmm.
screen, I think, or is there a common laptop that either the hotel or somebody or Christian has, where we just put our presentation, we just copy our presentation to that, and then from there we can show that.
Normally,
Uh,
you have a beamer where the beamer is attached to your laptop, but you
okay.
need some technology to transport the video, the audio, the image, and your camera image in live. So when you present something, you can make an iPhone, a modern one, a moving camera. You put the iPhone in the edge, and it really does it automatic. You move around in the room, and the camera follows you like you had a cameraman which is following you while you walk, while you point
Okay.
on the thing. But nevertheless, you need cutting, in the sense there is YouTube software. I don't have that, but there's YouTube software. It's easy to handle, where you stream live or to whatever you do, and while
Uh-huh.
you focus on the image of the person on the right upper corner, you see the presented screen in the background, or you have this presented screen a little bit smaller on the left, have the person on the right, and the other persons in the room on different camera angles or whatever.
Hmm.
So it really depends what you want to do. And a format like with the StreamYard is a total different thing for live presentations of casual meetings like we have every Saturday, and a professional video presentation, which you make a film style 8-hour conference of. You have to film the conference, and the conference means you have a
Yes.
videographer, like a photographer, who is 24/7 doing nothing else than checking that the audio is still correct, that the video is sharp, that everything is not blurred, that the presentations are flipped by a click of a button, typically of a laser pointer or an Apple Watch. You have an Apple Watch, you click the Apple Watch, and then you see the big screen or the small screen. So when I'm in an Apple technology style presentation, I can control everything that myself, but I cannot control it for an overall conference. That is, then my laptop would be the conference laptop attached to the beamer, attached to the video out, and all these kind of things. And honestly, I don't know what in detail to do to get that achieved. I could work into that, and I could learn
Okay.
about some test presentations for the curiosity out of to understand that. But I never put myself into the position of being knowledgeable in this area. So normally, I want to rather avoid that persons like me touch that area, And people who have a more affinity to the modern streaming technology should do that. And Christopher was a perfect choice. So he was also doing it over the years and has some experience in that. So once again, we need a guaranteed okay from him that he has everything he needs, everything he wants, everything what makes him blocking to appear here should be open negotiated, that we have abilities to either help out or find countermeasures or whatever. So not to hear from him and not to know in detail why he isn't answering is really not a good sign 4 weeks in front of the conference. Really not.
I mean, I have texted him to contact you.
Oh, that's too loud.
We last 4 conference weekends, we talked about T-shirts basically, and that is not really preparing the conference. What I had wished is preparing about the streaming, testing the connectivity of remote streamers. So we have more than enough technical things to do, and we didn't even start. We talk about T-shirts.
Yeah, I mean, right now, today is the last day of T-shirt. Laszlo has the thing, I think, enough information.
I have so made now in the background while we talk a T-shirt PDF. Okay, I reckon I have one black and white and one after just the final thing to make version 2.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, today is the last day. After that, we'll just talk technical things. Next week,
we really have to stop that.
Next week, hopefully, Christopher will have input. Even if he is not able to come, he can send the information. Then I can go over the information, and then I already send him a message to talk with you, and then we can start testing from next week. Some kind of a test.
We need more than talking. We need really to try that.
Test, yeah, we can start testing, and then people present. For example, I have my presentation. I can do a simple. I had to edit some of it, but I think I have the basic, PowerPoint for presentation. So I can do that, and you can test it how it works. From next week onwards, we should do that. So we have the testing module to say, so everybody should be present, and then we see how that works, and then from there we make decision as to whether we should go with the live stream or just record, the conference. So that's something we have to make decision. 24th is the last day. I think, after that we are there. The next week you are there. So, I don't know why. Oh, something is echoing it.
So, not sure if I have an echo on here or not. I understood you, Radhan, but I have still no audio from the others yet. What is the mechanism which is easiest to give you a PDF and a file over this StreamYard, or shall I try to send it by email later after the conference? I want to quickly show you what I have done in the background while you were talking. Maybe you give first the screen that you see what I mean.
Should we remove this one? Okay, I'll remove this one.
Yeah, you remove this one, please, and I go to presentation mode. Allow. You should now see my whole screen. Do you see?
Let me put that on. I have to.
Yeah, you have to on the acknowledgement. I don't know how that works in detail when you are.
Yeah, I have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. From my point of view, the client says I'm already sharing, but you have to tell me when you actually see that.
Yeah. Now we can see it.
Okay. Cool. So you see here is the logo design T-shirt in white. So would the T-shirt be white? It could be just the TEGS logo with a YouTube logo embedded in, but that would be already color graphics, whatever. And it's a little bit shadow. You see the shadows behind that, making it float a little bit. This is very different that the graphics isn't get boring, but still it's a simple black and it can easily be printed. This is just an image. So think of that is not text. The whole PDF would be printed in color print onto the T-shirt, and boom, it would look exactly like that.
Yeah, it sounds good. Christian is awesome. So I think we'll go with that. I think Christopher will say finally. I think this should work. The first sample, we can go with that. What do you say, Laszlo? Is this okay?
I can make it
Yeah,
smaller
but,
than you see. The impression is very simple.
Good.
Text,
Okay,
Good
we
enough.
will see.
science.
and the back page?
Okay, I will send. I will today evening. I will see. I will send something, and you will decide that this is good.
But
But
it's
I have a more simple form that is very good, and I think I will send mine example, and we can combine. But if you want, it's okay. But the links, we don't need the links under
Give me a
under
second
it.
to show you in red. So this is
It's
how it would
only
look
the
on
front
a
side.
shirt.
What is the back page? The T-shirt has two sides. There's the front and the back.
To double the cost if you print on the back side. This is
Yeah.
cost. If you print on the arms, it's doubling the cost, and so on. You can do that. So a text logo like that word I'm cycling here. So the square here, which I arrow with my mouse cursor, this looks good on the side of an arm of a white T-shirt, for example. It would be really good just on the left arm or on the right arm, but it costs double the price without warning. Yeah, it's really like a total separate print error.
The arms aren't necessary, but the back is, I think.
Yeah, I like this, Christian. This is a good one.
In anyone, I made 2 pages, documents. Pages can be converted to Microsoft Word. It's just a layout document on Apple Pages. You can go to the pages in www.apple.com on the net and have the free Pages web application to open that document, or you just take the PDF and leave it as it is. But if you take the PDF and leave it as it is, it took me 5 minutes to create that in the background, you have actually a 4-color print. And any good printer of a copy shop will tell you, are you sure you want to do that? Isn't it better when we make black characters with vector exclusion, make color separation, and all these kind of things? And it really depends if you want to have the YouTube logo on it or not, for example. I think it looks good with the YouTube logo on it because it also looked good in the circle way of the thing which you showed us from your site. Yeah. With the circuit text is also looking very good, I think.
Okay.
But it makes clear TEGS is a YouTube system who is doing a live conference. I haven't written TEGS 2025 Budapest Physics live conference stream or something. I could have written that as well. I intentionally wrote TEGS 2025 Budapest Physics conference. If that is online, offline or not is irrelevant because everything of the details you can read at https://TEGS 2025 science on the web.net. So it is good enough for recognizing that the persons wearing the shirt belong to the same team. So that was the original intention.
Hi.
From one side, but from the back, not.
Yeah, and from the back, not is nothing to see because on the back I have my jacket because it's cold or warm or whatever.
But you can print as the back the same.
Can you hear? Can you hear?
I can indeed.
Okay, so
you're live streaming. I just noticed. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with. We are. Everybody is here. Steering committee. Gerd is here. Christian Laszlo is here. So if you are able to.
I was looking for the stream earlier, but I couldn't find it. So maybe you started a while. And then I was on another call. I had to. I should do another. Sorry for that.
Okay.
So that's cool. So at the moment you're talking about T-shirts by the looks of it.
Yeah. That we want to finalize today.
Did you go into the technical thing yet? Have you?
Are you watching our stream?
Yeah, just tuned in.
Okay.
Briefly, and I skipped back through the previous part. It seems to have all been about T-shirts, so I didn't see anything about the technical stuff. But I think it would be a really good idea. Yeah, because I know Christian is planning on using his computer to do the entire thing. He's the one with he's got MATLAB on his computer. Not MATLAB, sorry, Mathematica.
No.
Also has him on his. Well,
Yeah, he said that Mathematica, it takes too much time. He does not have time. So what we are doing is a simpler thing that you might, if you go back to our streaming earlier, I had put something and Christian liked it, but we changed it and last row put something that Christian has just like 5 minutes ago. Christian just put his logo. It looks really good. Text logo with underneath TechNet Earth, Global Sciences, and then Budapest conference, and then put the website.
It's all right. It's very good as what we had. I mean,
Okay.
it's fine. I'm not sure with the YouTube logo. I don't think, but it's fine. It's not like.
Yeah. So I was thinking that we can put the YouTube logo at the back, and the front just put TechNet Global Sciences and the other tech.
I think we need YouTube on it.
Okay.
I mean, they're giving something. We don't get a single penny from them.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm not giving them any money.
Okay. So just put the TechNet the Global Sciences.
So what was you guys? So we have 3 T-shirts designs now.
Yeah. Today.
So, so what to is the eagle thing. I sent it, and I think it represents us.
Okay.
The one that says Christian has looks okay.
Okay.
It's pretty boring, but it's fine. And then the only other one we had was the one that I did, symbols.
Okay.
With the Explorer and Inspire.
Yeah.
And just to put the whatever small, like we could take Christian's logo or the one with the circle that Laszlo made, and just use a small, like the T-shirt I showed you, where it's just a small symbol in. We could do that and then core design on the main T-shirt.
Okay.
And leave it. Or we could do, just, people aren't into that, we could do something along those lines. Like Christian's thing, and just do a simple thing like that T-shirt where it's just what he designed, but just as a small thing. Or so those are the options. I mean, what do you want to do? You want to just leave it to them to? Do you want to leave it to a vote, or do you want to say?
Yeah, vote. I think we can vote. We want. Christian also was saying we are concentrate too much on T-shirt. I also agree with that. We should be today. It's a final day of T-shirts, and then Monday, last row will go and start printing the first batch. So we end the T-shirt discussion today. The final, whatever is the final, we go with that, and then next week onwards, at least, if you are able to present, we start testing that's really most important thing. Christian also emphasized that's most important thing. We have to start testing whether live stream is really possible or not. If the live stream is not possible, we'll just record it. I mean, these are the two options. We'll just record the thing and then put the live stream. But live stream, of course, is more preferable because that will be a proper conference, and then people are engaging and also discussing. So that's number one. If that is not possible, and 29th, we'll decide on 29th whether to go with live stream or not. Even before that, we have only like 3 weeks left. So all these 3 weeks, we should test that, and people present it, whatever they have. I have some presentation. I may have to edit a little bit, but I can start with that, and everybody else has some kind of a presentation ready. They should start testing that, whether it's live stream is really possible or not. By 24th, we'll decide one way or other whether we can do live stream. If not, we'll record. So we have to make that decision, and the final decision 29th, because the idea is that either our room or your room or Christian has a larger setup with his in his room. So we can do the 29th. We'll do everything there, figure out everything, and then final thing we have to just transfer it I don't know when we'll get the key, either on the 29th evening or 30th morning. Let's say assume that we'll get the key only on the 30th morning to be on the safe side. So we should be preparing for that. We just test everything. Everything is ready to go. We just go and install it there, and then we go there. We cannot do any test on the morning of 30th. There is no time to do any kind of experimentation there. So we should all make a final decision 29. That's it. We'll stick with that, and then we have to just go. If the live stream is becoming very difficult or as challenge.
Don't worry about too much. I think we should just proceed like. Just like that. There could be a way of working where we just set up things. If it's not working, we just move on, because like the important thing is to do the presentations.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
So how are we going to proceed then? We will, if we want to do a test, we should probably put this into writing. We need to have step 1. Someone is going to take the role of the streamer, and then someone is going to take the role of, I'm just someone who's coming in to watch the stream, or I'm Emmanuel and I'm coming to present my stuff. You know what I mean? So, and then we just see, because we won't have access to a projector or whatever here, but we might in the conference room. We will. So. That's stuff that will be left out, but it have to be included in the overall concept. So, what we need to know which computer we're using. We're not using Christian's anymore, are we not?
Yeah, that's the other question. I will put on to Christian just after we finish this. He said it's a boomer. He thinks that we can connect our laptop to that boomer, and
which laptops, Rajan?
Our own laptops. That's what he's saying. But
no, I don't think we're not going to use individual laptops. We're just going to use one laptop.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we should just transfer into one laptop. That's what I was telling with the grade also. We are discussing that we should transfer all our presentations onto one laptop. And then from there, we'll just do that. I think that's the best idea. I agree with that.
It's really difficult from my point of view. Without the Mathematica I have on it to do any presentation on a remote laptop, alone for license. How shall I do that?
Can you hear what Christian is saying?
When I do a live Mathematica calculation, I need my laptop for the license reasons.
Should we use? We just use my laptop.
This is not the right time to do the discussion. We should have a unique technical meeting on that. But
set it up. So then, if we're doing the what's it called? This test. Then I'm going to be the streamer.
You need to have a video grabber card which mixes up the video signal from HDMI.
There was the other issue. Do we want the thing that we won't be able to? No. We use your computer because you have a camera that attaches to your computer, doesn't it? So maybe we should use your computer, Rajan.
I don't know whether
you're going to stream. I will be Emmanuel presenting.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so that makes sense, right? Because
Christopher, as I'm the first presenter, we can of course start with my MacBook Air, which is a high-end laptop, which has all this camera follow me functionality, all that nonsense which Apple built in the last 2 years. That is actually really cool, has a good video quality, but then all of your presentations would have to come in formats on my laptop. And for example, if you have a PowerPoint, I would have to install Microsoft Office or Office 365, which I don't have. So in any case, whatever we do, on one side, we have a file format compatibility problem or a mathematical problem. No,
there's no problem. I have PowerPoint and Mathematica on my computer.
Yeah, but all the Mathematicas are not even fully compatible. I had that firsthand in the Mathematica conference when I was there. I presented on a Mac and everything worked because I prepared the whole night for the presentation. And then others came on Linux, failed, then came on Windows. The file formats didn't fit, the size didn't fit. It was
there's no problem. It's the same format.
This is never working in practice. Why don't anybody trust me when I say something? If you have a beamer and you have with one computer connected to that beamer, you can be happy to have a stable image at all. And typically that is please HD in 1080p, because everybody on the world has that. Now, when you plug a 1080p cable out, you have an interruption in video streaming and possibly even in audio. Then you plug in again and hope that everything works again after the plugging. But I'm working in a video company. I can tell you that is
correct. Yes,
this is not true. So you need a mixing entity which never loses the streaming connectivity. You need a mixer, and the mixer is just a simple software on a it could be even an app. But whatever it is not zero. So typically on streaming environments, you have USB equipment where you have mixing style pulse, where you tell a cutting software in real time from multiple inputs, which are all USB-C. And you can have USB-C to HDMI converters. You can have USB-C to whatever. This is simple stuff. It's not even expensive.
What's your proposal? What's your proposal?
You have to mix the audio. You have to mix the video. You have an iPhone camera or a similar one, which is moving to the people. And when the presenter speaks, you have a mix of the presenter's face and that what he presents typically. And I'm not at all clean with technically how that should work with a single laptop with its internal camera in the end. It would never work.
No, but a single computer to make the presentation in the room, not for streaming.
Yeah, but we are a streaming conference now. We have to think for streaming, so we have to borrow streaming equipment, which we borrow for the week and then give back.
Yeah, you want
then we have to
stream
doing what we want and all these kind of things.
Do you want to stream the original file or the presentation in the room and from the camera?
It's beyond me. When we do a live streaming, what does that mean? I'm not a live streaming expert. Rajan and Christopher came with, we do a conference in a hotel room where we do live streaming. We do
but normally you are streaming
the way that it works.
The picture from the camera, which is directed to the screen, where the...
Yeah, that is possible, but depending on the interlace frequency of the beamer and the interlace frequency of that you stream, you get artifacts and all kinds of video artifacts and problems. And this is, again, is this possible? But, okay, and again, has to be tested, as we cannot test it really because we are not in the hotel where we run it. We have one day to fix it when we are there. This is all what I'm saying.
But what do you think if you don't use the same computer for all presentations?
No, you have one computer with full power, touch it not for 8 hours when it runs, which does the live streaming, and you put the fingers off of that computer because you are happy that it is live streaming.
Yes, but who is... who makes the presentation in the room from the beamer?
The presentation in what event? What do you mean? So the output of the final mixing engine, whatever that is, an app on a Mac or on a Linux or whatever, a system which is able to do live streaming and spit out some video on a USB-C port.
But so, we have no such technique.
Yeah, but for live streaming, any such technique, you cannot live stream just with a.
Okay, it's an argument.
You need a regie, and the regie says we take camera 1 or camera 2, or we take a standstill. We go to, and then if you press a button, suddenly there is a sign. Thank you. We are at lunch break. Please come back at blah something. So
and you mean we do not do live streaming, but mixing after the presentation and then make a streaming file.
Typically, the transmission is not a streaming file. This is HTTPS live streaming. This is very simple, actually. This is a standard protocol which we use at work every day at Sky. So this is not rocket science. The problem is, from all I have ever learned, and I'm not an expert in that, you need dedicated equipment to mix and do that. It's not for
yes, okay. But what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm not asking that we do this or this. I'm just saying we have.
You say there's a problem, but there's no solution.
The easy solution, you borrow equipment for streaming and you rent it and pay for it. For example, solution one. You can ask a company in Budapest to give us you can ask a company.
You can order it by
so whatever we do, we need to do something, and not
order it at Amazon, and after you can send it back. You can send it back.
It's not rocket science. You might pay 500 euros. The hotel is much more expensive.
Gerd and Christian, are you able to hear what they are talking about?
Yeah, but this, like, that's all very theoretical and just, I mean, it's interesting, but my PhD and all of that, I just have a lot of stress at the moment. So I want to keep things like as simple as possible here, so that I don't.
But do you think that live stream is possible, from your point of view?
So what I'm thinking, just straightforwardly, I just want to keep everything simple. We'll set up a computer.
Okay.
We'll log on to whatever it's called, StreamYard.
Uh-huh.
And we'll just start streaming. We'll just start streaming the presentations off that computer onto the internet.
Okay.
And that's it. When Emmanuel comes on, we just let him in. We just let him stream. And that's it. We don't overcomplicate anything.
Okay. So what?
Okay, if you're doing that, Christopher, then it's okay. But then how do we handle the mathematical problem? Then I have to make a PowerPoint, which is passive.
Your cabinet plugs into your thing. We might try that out, but if that doesn't work, oh well. We're not going to lose sleep over it. And the third thing is we could have someone in the audience with a mobile phone videoing, so that we have different viewpoints. But I'm not sure how we would. Yeah, we couldn't use those viewpoints during a presentation, but we could use them in between.
You can have multiple iPhones in fixed position, which you switch with from the streams. This you can do in the room.
Or the live chat that may or may not go in. But we'll give it a go, but we're not going to lose sleep over it. Okay. You know what I mean by live chat? I mean the
people with the audience and especially the panel discussion.
The questions, I don't know about that. I think that was Christian's department to find out about turning a mobile phone into a microphone. So if we don't have that, we'll just repeat the question. We'll say, "What's your question?" And then just repeat. You just repeat the question.
The presenter, whoever is answering the question, repeats the question.
And that's it. And then just answer it, and then we go home.
Only the panel discussion, same thing. One thing is
keep it simple. But no matter what we do, there's going to be.
Now, even with people who are with a high conference, they have problem. People who spend almost $100,000, $1 million, they still have this problem.
Exactly. So what we'll do is we'll just try and stay. No matter what the problems are, we'll just like a big truck or juggernaut. We're just going to keep going, right?
Okay.
We're not going to start worrying. We're not going to start.
I'm not too worried about it, but I think the finer details, I'll just emphasize the initial conference.
Just listening to Christian there, there's a sense of hysteria building, and I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this. I just want to keep it simple. I want to keep focused.
We don't worry too much. One thing, the only thing I will say is that we can have two cameras, and then Gerd and also two camera. One camera is on the presenter.
So the cameras will be like the way you do it,
Yeah.
The way you have multiple. We'll just do that. So,
so we can,
So I'll leave you. You will be you're going to be doing the video in the audience when you're not working, And we'll switch to your cameras in between or something, just to give people a sense of the audience.
Yeah.
And for question time, we can switch to the audience cameras. Something like that, Rajan, will probably work. You know what? You'll just be able to go up. let's say there's question time and someone has a question in the audience, you might be able to walk up to them with your phone or something, you know, and they could just speak into it that way, and then everyone online will be able to hear it. So it might not work, but as far as I know, that's the only way to do it. So.
Yeah, only the panel discussion. Somebody else had to do it because I'm chairing that, so somebody else had to do that.
Christopher, Raja, please, when you excuse. So
we can set up my phone in that case. Then I will do it during those periods when you are chairing.
Okay.
Or we could guess if Laszlo wants to do it, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, maybe you or me. We have a lot to do though, so. Maybe someone else can. I mean, what's Gerd doing or Laszlo?
Yeah, Gerd, I was telling Gerd, you may, if you go back to our earlier discussion, Gerd, I was telling that he will be in charge of people coming in. We'll have a computer, or we'll try to put it, so people put their names, their address, so we know the log of people who are coming in. So we'll have everybody, So Gerd will be in charge, but we'll help him also whenever we are not there. All the rest of us. But Gerd,
that's great.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gerd can do that, and he might be able to. Himself and Laszlo could probably handle the audience questions as well.
Yes.
And we can give a handout too, but maybe we should put them in charge of that. Right. Because I think they have good phones. Both of those guys have really good phones anyway, so we can just link them to the thing. That will be just us then doing the presentation. Will be online for the live stream. Emmanuel will be online.
Yes. And then Dr. Kurle also is there. Yeah.
So I want just to give you the intention that I cannot run a keynote for 1 hour and 15 minutes with a pure PowerPoint presentation, which is passive. Because would I do that, that would require 250 or more PowerPoint individual pages, which is just beyond scope.
Works within the larger setup of the room, and we are going to have to try the night before.
Yes. 29th we decide.
Give us the keys,
then
we're fucked. Right?
Yeah.
If we're not the setup thing, I'm pretty sure they let you test before you.
Yeah.
You do it.
So hopefully they'll be 29th night, but we should assume that they may only give 13. We should prepare, assuming that they will give the key only on 30th morning. We should have everything ready.
That's a good point. We won't be able to. We will just, if that's the case, then it's just a case of set it up and we're just gonna, we're not gonna test anything. We're just gonna treat it like an ordinary.
Not test in the sense that in our room, either Christian's room or our room, our room that I'll be sharing with you. That room we can test that the initial stages and see how that works, and then we implement it there with the boomer and everything,
so the initial stages are just what we do, and okay, that's fine with me.
Okay.
That's good. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. In terms of the T-shirt, then my vote is for the graphic that I made with the words. That's my vote. With either Gerd's or either Laszlo's or Christian's logo in the corner. So it's kind of But I'm easygoing. Well, that's my vote. So it depends on other people. They have the option to vote. I guess if it's going to be a vote situation, we should just put all three graphics in and see what they decide, and then I'll go with that. If that's what we're going for.
Okay. Whatever
people decide.
Christopher, one thing we can do is the simple design we can start with. Let Laszlo start a first batch with that simple design we have, just the Christian ad or the Laszlo. So we start with that, and the next batch, once we test the sample, we'll have the 10 samples each of us, and then we test that. Then we can implement, your log, and then by that time you should know whether they can actually print what you have, and then the next batch will be what you have, We just print that, whatever you have, and then we'll go with that at the second batch.
So we'll do it that way. So then we don't need to vote because we'll just print everything.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's
each batch. Yeah, each batch will have. So we'll have different T-shirts. We are going. Yeah. So you just have to give your the 10 samples. You give your the sizes and also color. Laszlo wants that sizes and color. So I want him to start on Monday. Go there, make the first batch, and then so get that process.
Great. Okay, well then, if that's the kind of approach you're going for, I think that's an interesting and good approach.
Okay.
Print the first one with something like what
Christian or Laszlo. Yeah.
I will finalize the other design
yes.
with Laszlo's logo, and then we can print that for the next batch or something.
Yes, that sounds good.
Is the other batch actually going to happen, or is it just?
Yeah. Yeah, I think each batch we can have different designs, so we'll have assortment and people can pick whatever they want and then order it. Yeah.
Well, so can they do different designs within the same batch?
Same batch, I'm not sure. Maybe Laszlo can only. Yeah. Also, Christian has. I don't know, but you roll back your text initial the live stream. You will see Christian has displayed from his daddy very fantastic designs. It has given a fantastic, but unfortunately, it cannot be transferred to the print. So you need a mathematica or something, and he does not have time to do that. But eventually, when he has time later on, he can do that because it contains the atomy, all the very nice things, ice space, and it has come up with a fantastic graphics.
I'm sure it's great, but that's fantastic. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's very good.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I don't know. So we could do that as well. That's kind of part of the reason. Obviously keep it simple as a T-shirt.
Yes.
So
I agree.
That's kind of the reason why I went for those symbols. They're just they're perfect for T-shirt design. But
yes.
No,
yours is the best. We all agree that what you had initially was probably the very best, and we'll have the subsequent batch. One of them have that because it contains all the important things that our what our group is about. I think we'll have that definitely in one. Probably the next batch will be that the first batch maybe simple thing that what Christian showed and then what Laszlo showed, put them together, and I think Laszlo will send us that and he can start making that once.
I think simple. Why not just go with why not just go with the design that we already have? Then, if everyone thinks it's the best, just make that the T-shirt.
Yeah, the first batch. What I am saying is that we don't know how the simple. We'll make at least two different things. First batch maybe the simple design. The next batch will be your the printed. By the time we will have that. So the conference, by the time of conference, we will have yours and the simple design so people can choose whatever they want.
Yeah, the design is finished though. It's ready to go. You just put the logo, into the design and send it off.
Okay.
There's nothing to be done. So
yeah.
You're gonna have to decide on that,
Rajan, you may ask this, Christopher, if he has received my mail.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no need to have an intermediate. It's already done.
Okay. So what do you think, Christian? Good.
Rajan, please, to Christopher, I'm not sure if you can hear me over the phone with Rajan from an organizational point of view, but I have just sent very, very simple PDF, which could have been from your initial design, which look like exactly simple, with or without the YouTube logo edit. And you should not focus too much on it. But what is really important from my point of view, I have a question for you. Or let me call it a statement. And think about it. Please don't get it wrong, but take it as an input of my concerns I have for the technical organization part of it, because the only one who are able to technically properly organize is probably you and me, because we have the video background, you from your experience with the TEGS conferences, and me from my work in a television station. So I know a little bit about these things, but I'm not actively doing it in any way. So I'm the last person to ask actually from a detailed technical point of view. So what I try to say is, when you go in an offline conference, so when you go in an offline conference, what happens? You enter a room, possibly with chairs fronted in the audience from 10, 50, 20 in a small room to 200, 200 to 1,000 in a big room. They are typically chaired in the direction of a stage. Behind or on the stage, there is a beamer presentation area. You have on the top of the room, even in a small room, and I think our hotel room we ordered has that beamer, a cable which runs to the desk where the presenter is standing in front of the audience from, say, 10 to 2,000. And then he connects his local laptop on the stage to a HDMI or a USB-C or one of the million available connectors which we could all have at hand to connect input to the beamer, which you don't know from which manufacturing type the beamer is at the wall or the roof or anything which you can change. Even in a university is not different. You cannot really be 100% sure. Do you need a VGA cable? Do you need a HDMI cable? Do you need a whatever cable, USB-C and the modern ones? So you have some adapters. And these adapters is not what we are talking about. We have these adapters. And if not, then I buy them and bring them to Budapest, then we have the adapters. So the thing to run an offline conference is to get the proper adapters for very old laptops, for very new laptops, for Windows laptops, for Linux laptops, for Mac laptops, of the individual presenters to make their presentation in time without disturbing the conference disruption too much. In other words, normally before the conference, everyone 5 minutes or 2 minutes tests with its laptop on the day before if it would work to present on the presenting equipment in an offline situation in a local room of a hotel, so that everyone is fine and not disrupted in the thing. Now
I will bring all my adapters I have.
Let me continue, because that was not the main point. So that is when you do an offline scenario in a normal conference. This is exactly what happens. Everyone brings its own laptop.
One thing we can do
over HDMI.
I can call on the group chat on this one. So if you are able to, and the others, if they are able to join that, that may be a steering committee thing I have. Maybe that. Should I call that? I'll go to.
I would like to ask Christopher, please, to give me a one-on-one call on the web WhatsApp chat, that we can do that with video together, because it is really hard with you intermediate in here. Yeah. So I was assuming we run an offline conference with additional streaming equipment to that, what the beamer is showing, whatever that is, directly to the presenting. And if that is not the case, then it's also fine. We can do something different, but we cannot just try to be happy with one laptop presenting 24/7 in the conference, and everything we have to present is compatible to that laptop. Even if you have a Mathematica on your laptop, it might be compatible to my needs, because you might not have the right C compiler to show what I want to show.
No, I'm calling on the steering.
It's not that trivial.
Yeah, you are there. Thank you. Christopher, are you there?
No, you called me. Or...
Yeah, Christopher, can you be there?
So I cannot do the conference video with anyone while we have the other conference open. We should close that conference after 1 hour, 48 minutes and clarify the technical details, and only technical details these are. In a one-on-one with the people who affects that. And I think that is not difficult to do. I can go to and Monday at work and ask our department what they would typically do for live streaming and see what equipment is available. I can ask our professionals in my company at Sky what they are doing for these kind of things, and then see what expensive is it available, can we borrow it, whatever. Yeah. But I think just presenting with files on a laptop which I don't own, that goes nuts. That will not work for my keynote. It will just not work. Even if you would have a Mac, it would be difficult, really difficult. Too many dependencies.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we have to do really just PDF pages we present, that would be compatible to everything. But PDF pages would mean for a presentation of 1 hour, 15 minutes of mine, that I have 250 pages of PDFs to fill that 1 hour, 15 minutes. And that is way too much for complexity. I can only evolve that, like in the video which I showed when I presented ice-based theory, incrementally. If I have, I need a live Mathematica to do that, for example. And I'm really not sure how to do that. That worries me.
Yeah, the only thing right now is whatever we have, the live stream that we are doing, we can do. I mean, we should be able to do as long as the internet is there. That's the simplest thing. We'll go with that, and then if there is any additional, more.
Yeah, but there is epsilon splitter equipment. Everything which we send optically to the beamer, we can split with splitters and send it somewhere else.
Okay.
That somewhere else is the question which I have never clarified. You cannot directly send it from one laptop, because if you send it somewhere else, it needs to go somewhere, and the beamer will not make your link to a portal. A software will make a link to your portal.
But then we need a HDMI splitter.
Yeah, but you need a digitization software if you run it that way. That is also not trivial. You cannot just switch apps while you run a digitization software with high-end video digitization. The CPUs of today have the power to do that. That is not a technical problem. But even then, you need a dedicated machine to do it. I was expecting an offline room to connect like onto a beamer. And if that is not possible, this is good to hear 4 weeks before. But for sure, it complicates my life massively, massively. I'm not prepared for that.
The one solution we can have is whatever we are doing now with our live stream, the YouTube, we can do it anywhere. That's the first. We can do that and just project it on the boomer. That's all. And then if you can do splitter, well and good. But we don't depend on that. We just project this.
But that means we have a Wi-Fi connection in the local hotel, and I would add myself to the local Wi-Fi of the hotel.
Yes.
And stream to StreamYard independently of a local technology. And I agree that is likely, if you have enough bandwidth on the hotel, that would likely work. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm sure hotel has Wi-Fi.
Yeah, they have a good Wi-Fi, I guess, but for a live streaming, this is a very dangerous way of doing it. You have seen how often StreamYard has fallen down in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we have to go with that.
If it's all clear, it would work.
Yeah. See, the worst case, that's the first thing. So we just project on that. At least we can see the thing. If there is a problem with the audio, then in time then we have to do this, our cell phone or something through this. We have to do that. That's only other option.
In the worst case, if this is a keynote, we set it up for the main technology on my laptop and test it a day before that I'm the starter to stream to the standard.
It's a good idea to test it 1 day before.
Yeah, of course, 1 day before.
Yeah, I will test with you.
Yeah, and of course, if everyone with his local laptop would test that, then everyone could connect to the live presenting stream and become the presenter while he's doing the keynote. Then we would not have this switching problem, because everyone who presents is the main presenter of the conference. And
yes,
that would make sense technically, but complicates the Regie logistics. You have no Regie logistics like that. So if someone presents on Windows and Windows starts a software update, you get kicked out and look bad. Yeah, so it's just as an example. Yeah.
See, right now, Laszlo is having the internet problem. And so, I mean, we have to, I agree with that. We have to be prepared that there could be internet problem.
Roger, this is all good, but it is Christopher's driving topic to make clear what we do or what we not do. when it is his responsibility, it is also his decision. I completely respect that, but we need to know that now, not a day before the conference. I want exactly the planning with the graphics, what we do to present it in the room where a beamer is, what cables we need. I really want to understand that, and I want to understand that since 4 or 5 or 6 weeks. I asked the same question 3 months ago already, when I remember. I said, please give us the technical details how we do the live streaming. And I offered money for buying or borrowing equipment, and the feedback was absolutely zero.
Yeah. The only thing right now,
and it's the same right now, still fully open.
Yeah. The right now we do whatever we are doing now, we'll do that. Like I project on my computer, a monitor, what we are doing now from my laptop. So with that simple whatever that you know, the HD connection, I just plug it in my laptop and then I can see it on the main screen, because I like to see it on a monitor, and I have a monitor. I see all of you. So that's how I am doing it, and Boomer should be something similar. All you have to do is,
once again, when you want to professionally present, you take with the software you use to present. If you are a single presenter for yourself, if you do a blog, for example, then the software on the Mac pretends that there's a cameraman following you while you walk through the room, while you point to the presenter's page. The presenter's page is entirely virtual, it's not existing. You have a green screen behind you, and you point to the green screen and you see on the live what you see on the mixed up video, and it looks professional. It is a perfect audio. You have these ring light cameras pointing to you, that you have a good shadow. You have a white light from the right and your orange light from the left. So you have some light scenario in your videos, like a standard blogging equipment. A standard blogging equipment costs 250 euros. You order it in China, get 2 days later. That is absolute trivial, okay? But a standard blogging equipment is nothing what you use in a hotel to do a live presentation. And that's why my concerns have been already 3 months ago. You cannot just do what Christopher wants to do, that you go on his laptop and we all go on his laptop and do our presentation with his laptop. Even the keyboard layout would be wrong for doing wrong things. This is not as simple as you think. Trust me on that. That goes wrong. You cannot do it like that. You need HDMI cables, and the people's private laptop must attach to the presentation system. And the presentation system does not change during the presentation. It is staying online. It does what it does, like a light switch on the wall. You don't remove the light switch on the wall when the person changes. This is just ridiculous. Why would we do that? This is not the same as remote live streaming. And this is why I want to tell you that. You have no experience in what we try to do here. Would you have experience, and have at least a little experience, by working at a company like Sky, being a TV station? And I know how the signals are transported digitally through the system. And I tell you, that is awfully complicated. I have to test that every day as a job, okay? That doesn't make me a cameraman. That doesn't make me a knowledgeable video expert or anything. But I can see every day how shit complicated that is.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole new thing, that television. We are not planning to do. I mean, we could do if everything is working, but right now we don't plan to do the television thing. We just stream it, and then later on we can add to television. They can.
Rajan, you cannot say we just streaming. We planned a live conference, and as I said, an offline conference expects you, when you come there, to plug in a beamer. And we have two additional problems. Even if we have a beamer where we can plug in and the beamer had a video output, it doesn't give you a camera feed to the audience. It doesn't give you a second microphone which you can hand to the audience while you ask questions. It doesn't give you a mixing ability to make a standstill video in, said we are at lunchtime, come back at this and this time. It doesn't give you a video click to a stream coming from a total different country wanting to live stream after lunch. It doesn't do all that. You can individually, time after time, when you have, say, minimum 15 minutes between the conference steps, you can prepare, you can give people a call, say, yeah, move to the right, the light is not good, and so on. But we are live. You have no 15 minutes. You hand over to the next person, and everything has to work flawlessly. You have 0 seconds for that. And that makes it very different to the current presentation way. Very, very different. And that's why I was not naively asking Christopher for detailed information how he thinks he wants to do that. And what we hear now is he wants to do it with his laptop, and we have to come with files running on his laptop to not interrupt the live streaming presentation. And with all due respect, while we can do that as an absolute minimum, this is not how you organize a live stream conference. This is just not the way what is done by best practice.
Yeah.
This is all I know.
Yeah, see, we can always say this is our first initial thing. So we are going with the simplest possible thing.
If you have that as a plan C, very good. Then if not, if things fail, it's always good to have a plan B and a plan C. But the plan A would be to borrow.
I mean, we'll go with
plug things in which stream then in the direction which should stream. But then you have still an HDMI video signal you would plug into a beamer with the final signal, so with the mixed one. So the mixing is analog hardware. You just plug things in here, and you need a pult with some sliders, literally some 4 buttons and 4 sliders. And with that 4 sliders, you mix 4 audios and 4 video streams. You just borrow that mixer and you're done. But the real problem comes after the mixer. The mixer has an output, and the output would go to a local beamer. But you can go in a splitter, or the mixer has 2 outputs, so you don't even need a mixer. The splitter is the mixer. So one goes of the local mixer to the local, that the audience in the room can see it. But what do you do with the second output? You have now finally mixed, what is it called? Live stream output. And then you need to modulate it. And the live stream output is modulated by a software called HTTP streaming encoder. You need an encoder, an MPEG encoder. And the MPEG encoder sees the HDMI input on a frame grabber card, typically, with audio and video in standard format, and pretends it's already 16:9 mixed up perfectly, ready, whatever, light, audio, video, perfect. And then you have to decide where you stream to. And then you can have a very, very clever software which says, we stream in a certain HTTP format to small devices, we stream in a very low pixel format onto high-end devices like UHD, we stream in a very high-end format. And we can do everything at the same time. Then you have typically 4 minutes live delay. And at 4 minutes, the streaming is calculated and done. It's all by the cloud server. You send your streaming to the cloud, and the cloud does the rest for you. Everything is automatic.
Yeah, but okay, but we can do it otherwise. Presenter is not standing in front of the audience, but behind his computer, and there is running
I know what you want to say. You have
presentation,
one to the audience and one to
the picture of the presentation is
the stage. Yeah, you can print, but how do you do that then with the remote stream?
Is projected to the
yeah, that works locally, but how do you do that with the remote streams? You receive a video stream.
Nochmal, wir sind hier in einer Konferenz, und die Konferenz wird auch da gemacht, und das Bild von der Konferenz wird in dem Raum vorne projiziert durch den Beamer.
Yes, I understand you, but that means cutting in the cloud. You trust blindly the cloud provider that this live cutting for the whole conference. You send the image to the cloud 2 times.
Yeah.
To the cloud it comes back. This is extremely dangerous. You can do it that way, but you have no local mix.
Ja, du bist ja im Raum. Du bist im Raum, und die Leute können dich fragen.
You need a paid license for that anyway. You need to get the watermarks of the final streaming, the limitations of time, the limitation of number of cameras, the limitation of audience numbers. So all of that can be done with StreamYard with a commercial account. But even that, we are using a free account. I'm saying yes, but please think what you are doing here. I know exactly what I talk about. At least hopefully I do. And no one seems to understand how difficult that is, what we're trying to achieve here. And I want not to be ordering what to be doing or not doing. I just think, please be naive. Go into the detail level and take the equipment on your local table at home and try to test that. And then you see what I mean. This is really, really, even in the simplest case, much more complicated than you think. Much more complicated than you think. You need to test that weeks before. And then you see what you need to buy or change, or need a different microphone or another iPhone or a second PC, whatever you come up with. You learn while you do that. And you have more than 8 hours when you are in the hotel to do all that under extreme pressure, because on the next day the conference starts. And
what is Christopher?
No, he want to go with the simplest thing. Right now, the simplest thing we have is the.
But this is simple is when you do what all others do and not something try because you think it works. This is not simple.
Yeah, okay, it's not simple.
Cheap, but cheap is not simple. You need the minimum payment for the minimum equipment you need to do to achieve the job. Would we have created an offline conference? We have met in the hotel and easily made an offline conference with all attendees in the conference rooms. We could have put an iPhone to the side of the room. We film 24/7 until the iPhone film is full. What is said and done, and the iPhone has wide-angle camera. We can later cut it off to whatever we wanted to, and it would have brilliantly worked. This is absolutely no problem. We borrowed 2 lamps from the hotel photograph and put it in for a proper light, and we're done. Very, very simple. Now you want a live conference, and what the hell know how a live conference needs to be organized. And I have not seen anything so far which would actually work when we are in the hotel. And I know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Last warning I give.
Okay.
I gave that warning 3 months ago, I gave it 2 months ago, and now give it the last time 1 month ago. I do not want to end up in the hotel with, hey, that doesn't work. How we do that?
No. We have 4 options. And one of the options, if the Wi-Fi is there, it should work. What we are doing now is the 4th option.
Even
the first
with
option.
The Wi-Fi, it is not guaranteed to work.
If the Wi-Fi is not there, that
we have never tested it. And when we have tested it locally, we have seen every time, every weekend, that the first click mirrors something from the camera which shouldn't be seen. We end up in the wrong desktop. The firewall of your local browser doesn't allow you to log in. We have seen error after error after error with this kind of method. That is what I have seen. I am not sure what you have seen.
Yeah. I mean, I would say statistically, it's not that bad.
StreamYard is good, but not that good. What was really good was the
I agree with that.
Cutting software we used before with the manual cutting of Christopher. That gave excellent results before. Excellent results.
Yeah.
But that is not live.
So one thing is, one thing is there that the Wi-Fi is not there. None of this will work. That's a very simple thing. So we have to be prepared. We just record the local recording, and then we say, okay, we didn't have the proper Wi-Fi connection. Therefore, that's all we can do. It's up to the
But Christopher, what do you do then with the audience in the afternoon who wanted to remote stream? You cannot really even think on that. This is no plan B for them.
No, the only way, if you don't have Wi-Fi...
invited to speak online over the internet in a live conference. And we are showing them we are seemingly not able to organize due to not no time or too expensive, or what is exactly the reason?
No. If the Wi-Fi is not there, we cannot do anything. Nobody can do anything. That day, it depends on that day. And Christopher, anybody...
A hotel which has a good Wi-Fi. We are sure the hotel has a good Wi-Fi. So next
point. So that we have to assume. If the Wi-Fi is not working, it will be always hard. I mean, I have been in conference where people could not present. It was the international conference last year or before that, virtual conference. I'm doing like 3 or 4 years of virtual conference. But I didn't have a problem. Most of the thing I went through. But there are problems, people who have problem and they couldn't present it. So that always is there. the Wi-Fi is not there, we can't do anything. Nobody can do anything. Wi-Fi is not under our control. I don't control it. Christopher doesn't control. You don't control Wi-Fi. It's up to the hotel. The providers have Wi-Fi. There is a problem. And even if they provide, I have seen when I'm teaching, sometimes the Wi-Fi doesn't work. So, I mean, it's always a possibility. So we have to record
but
it.
this is only one thing, and we agree that the Wi-Fi is not our problem. So can we please focus on the next one? And the next one is, what the hell is the detail to do the action organization? And I hear what Christopher told, but I don't like it. That's the problem.
No. So
I don't want to do a presentation on his laptop. So what is the solution now?
Okay, so we can record people who are there. Okay, for Emmanuel, who is not present, the Wi-Fi is not there. We cannot do
no,
that.
No, Rajan, I didn't talk about the Wi-Fi. When I understood Christopher properly, he wants to do the conference in the hotel exactly in the way he organizes the streams from Ireland. Exactly the same. And I misunderstood him, but this is what I heard. And what I have understood is that we should prepare files which binary are copied of a memory stick or whatever, machine to machine, to his machine, and I have to use his mouse, his keyboard, his personal live streaming PC to do my presentation. Yes or no? Because that is to be clarified. And I don't like it if it is his machine, because it will really not work. I have seen that over and over, that these kind of things don't work. If you agree on PDFs as files, which are in a certain pixel format with a certain resolution, if you don't include live video in the pixels, if you don't include anything complicated in the reference files, which you try to open by links, firewall-wise, if you don't include a Mathematica, which has a specific license, if you don't include C compiler callouts from the Mathematica, like I do for my presentation, how the hell should that work? It will not work. I know that beforehand. I don't even need to test that. I know that it doesn't work.
So what
you really
equipment
do is to have the ability to plug in USB-C or HDMI video cables and do a presentation, because that is exactly that, what you would do also in an offline presentation. And the online presentation is everything of an offline presentation plus the streaming part. This is really not difficult to understand, or is it?
So what equipment do you have, Christian? You can bring?
Yeah, I bring my M1 laptop. I can buy even a dedicated MacBook or a dedicated M1 Mac to do the live streaming or whatever. This is not a technical problem. I want to know what in detail we do. And
so one thing you can do.
Answer from Christopher that we use his laptop for a presentation. That
No.
would not be a really good one.
No. He said that one laptop. We just use one laptop. Everybody loads onto that laptop. Whatever they send the files onto the laptop.
Yeah, but I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
We cannot send to you to your laptop. Our
I need
like
to run the
PowerPoint
presentation completely from my laptop, where I have the tested environment to show what I need to show. If I do a live presentation, I do a live calculation. And I need to play with the audience, also with live audience. So I look in your faces, seek some feedback, ask probably some rhetorical questions to the audience. And all of that will not be in the PowerPoint presentation. All of that is instant. That is dynamic.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the PowerPoint, they should have two screens. One where it shows the person talking, and the other one is the PowerPoint. So they should be,
yes.
So that should be there.
And you need a system which cuts the presenter into the PowerPoint presentation, which is the job of a presentation mixing app. Exactly.
Yes, I have seen such presentation.
So this is a standard app you buy in the App Store of Apple, or you buy in the Microsoft Store or something, is for bloggers who want to present themselves like that. This is a total trivial application, but it's not trivial to use if you use it the first time. It's not that trivial, okay?
Yeah, the PowerPoint, I have tried this one. The only way, the correct way, and the only way the PowerPoint works is the PowerPoint you show on one screen, like we are doing that, and the presenter it's a split screen. So, the boomer. So one screen just shows the PowerPoint, and the presenter then points to each other, moves each other PowerPoint slides, and then talk about that. That's the only thing that
if you are standing on stage, you are walking around. Otherwise, you have to sit somewhere and sit with the laptop in front of your streaming audience camera on the table which you present. And I don't like the imagination of doing a 1.5 or 1 hour 15-minute keynote sitting on a table. You walk around when you do that.
No.
This is really completely wrong. This is wrong.
Yeah. So the only way is that, so it projects onto. So if the boomer projects only the PowerPoint, then we should have a camera outside that shows that and the presenter. So the presenter.
Yeah, even if you film with UHD with a standard iPhone in horizontal mode where you have a wide angle camera, you can film a lot. And the audio and video quality from the iPhone microphone is that good that professional cameramen use it, so it is really a feasible camera. But the signal is still Wi-Fi digital. Where do you send the stream of your Wi-Fi camera to? Normally you send it to the internal memory of the camera to later cut it professionally. But you need live software. So you load some live software on the iPhone and say, where shall the iPhone camera, which is currently with the microphone filming, send its live stream to? And it uses video digital protocols. And these video digital protocols is what I'm talking about. You just change the problem. You move from the sitting on the table to I film the scene, but that doesn't make your problem go away, because the software which is on the laptop of Christopher, how does it know what the camera sees? Christopher needs to open a port on his laptop.
Yes, but
port combination, the camera will stream as a streaming target.
You are right, but it makes no sense to discuss this without Christopher in here, and he must go online here.
Yes, I completely agree, but it is not about that Christopher is not here. This is a principal problem. What I'm saying is physics of the video signal management. It doesn't go away just because I'm saying that, okay? It doesn't go away because someone wants to do it differently. Even if you want to do it differently, that does not solve your problem. You have to really deeply think about what you are trying to achieve here.
But and you cannot, we cannot solve this problem without Christopher.
Not enough. It will not work. It will just not work.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we do the live stream. I am able to present it, and the only thing is that when I'm presenting here, for example, in the YouTube live stream, we have a split screen that comes up, and we put our PowerPoint there, and then we are here, and then I'm just moving my cursor.
Would you do, please, a demonstration of what I'm talking? Go with present a single page, PDF page, and put our 4 faces on the left of that PDF page.
Yes.
This is what we typically have done in the past. Yeah. Can you do that live now? Just switch, please, and switch. Put a page of yourself up, whatever, a hello world or whatever, a document, and then put our 4 faces to the left, top down.
Yeah. So let me
management of the current presenter. You are the presenter, so please switch.
Yeah. Let's say like this one.
You need to think. You don't know. Now you have done whatever button you found. Correct. Now you see that you recursively. Oh, okay. Now here we go. So when we do that in the conference, we can be individually stream only if we sit in front of our laptops. Okay. So when I would be in presentation mode now, I would take my laptop and move it to the table where is Wi-Fi. I'm not on the charger anymore. I don't need that. And then I do more or less what we do here. And that is correct. But when I want to stay up and walk in front of the panel, I'm out of the image because I never will be visible in front of the panel. So I cannot with the finger point to the Hungary and say, hey guys, this is what I mean, because I cannot do it. This is physically impossible. I cannot point to the presentation screen except with my mouse cursor.
Yeah, this is the only way we can do it. I mean, If he cannot do
this is
that,
not a live conference. On a live conference, I'm on a stage, and on a stage, I can do it. Okay.
well,
yeah. But if you you show the presentation and you using a camera, then it's possible. But then is the presentation not good readable?
Right. So do you need two camera inputs? Two camera inputs need a server, and
No,
the server can
camera. You are standing before the presentation, and then
two cameras are streaming to that server, and that is called a mixing software. And this is the thing which I'm talking about.
No. You are standing on the stage, and back there is the presentation, and this is shown by one camera. Then it's possible, but then you cannot read all of the presentation.
A simple question to everybody. You can switch back, Rajan. Thank you.
Okay.
Just switch to the 4 video of the users.
yeah, I have to go through this. Yeah, I have to simplify.
I don't know which button it is. You will know. You have to just switch the local video back. Yeah, here we go. So you see, all that what you did there would be visible on a live video forever. It is not a really problem, but it's not professionally either. For sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have to go with that.
Argue, you know that I'm right. This is nothing to argue. This is not professional. Full stop. And that's it. This is not a problem, but you have to be aware about it at least.
Yeah.
And can you tell me what is the difference when I not fly to Budapest, sit here, and everybody is doing the conference virtual? Wait. There is no difference. From the presentation point of view, we could have stayed at home, did the presentation completely remote, and then agreed that for private sightseeing, we meet a day later in Budapest for private reasons. And that is a total different thing than you have a home live conference like we do professionally all the week we do. And we'd be happy to meet in person in a hotel, whatever, but it needs not to be a 2,000 euro expensive hotel then, because there is no need to do a presentation in a $2,000 hotel for the exact same technology you don't need a hotel for. That makes absolutely no sense.
But with Emmanuel, it makes sense because he is at home.
The others are afternoon, and they would still go to the presenter, and there would be streams which show our faces, how we react to his presentation, because that is what it is all about. It's a big difference. A presentation is bidirectional. You look in the eyes of the people sitting there and see how they react when you tell something. Otherwise, you can prepare the presentation offline, click on a QuickTime video, take yourself a coffee, and run 1 hour and 15 minutes. You have no right to ask any question. You have no right to interrupt me. A QuickTime video is running, live streamed. I will guarantee it. Make no mistake. So I tell you what that is. This is exactly what current Apple's presentation are when they go on stage since Steve Jobs is dead. Steve Jobs always presented live. You came, you never know what happened. It was sensational.
Yes.
Conference. And then what they do now with Tim Cook is bullshit. I don't even watch it anymore. It's boring. They make presentation videos of 5 minutes of the actual engineers, which I think it's cool. But the engineers would be nervous, and Apple doesn't want the engineers to be nervous. So they make little videos up front, they cut it up front, and then they tell the whole 1.5 hour conference is a recorded conference. I don't even waste my time to watch it. And that's Apple, and I'm an Apple fan, okay? It's just entirely not the same conference anymore. It's just advertisement, 1.5 hours of Apple. And I don't need to watch a 1.5 hours Apple advertisement conference. I wanted to see the conference. And Steve live was running the conference, and there can be something wrong, but that doesn't matter. But you learn something by looking in his eyes, and he learned something by looking at the audience, and you get the feeling of the atmosphere of the conference room. And that is all important, and this is why you meet. You want the feeling of the people in the conference room. And when we do exactly the same, I could have stayed at home. It makes no sense.
You're right. Yeah.
No, I have gone these conferences. They have both hybrid. The people who are there in Turkey, they present, and then I do a virtual so they can see the thing. There are glitches, always glitches, but we are done all these years, and I can understand. I know that what is practically possible right now. We can ideally we will like to do like what you are saying, and you need a television to do that. But a lot of times, even the television has problems. Here, the America
again, bugs can always happen. But if you run the conference in a way that the fixing of such a bug is the actual techniques of the conference, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, no. I know that.
A live conference, you should fix some expectations of the spectators you try to attract. And a live conference means live streaming. That's the technical problem to solve.
Yeah, there is always a gray area.
Engineers, we have no problem solving technical problems. The thing which I learned so far is it seems we not all agree on if we should solve these problems or not. And some say this is too costly, or some this is too much effort, or whatever. So once again, if we have no conference, we have no effort.
Yeah, I mean saying that even people who spend millions of dollars, sometimes there are technical difficulties. I have seen in our television, the American television, one of the best. They have the highest technology possible, right? But I watch every day. The news, I watch every day. And they have problems.
I have not seen a single conference, sorry to interrupt you, which was live ever without a regie and a mixing pult. Not a single one.
Yeah, I have seen conferences. I used to watch live conferences in television. They were having some of the live conferences, and in that one there are sometimes technical. These are spent millions of dollars. They spent.
There was a German company that called IRT. I don't know what it was in spelling acronym. It was a high-end company for dedicating to the ultimate technology in streaming, but not now. Already 20 years ago. So when we all had 640 times 400 pixel screens and hoped that we could video locally something small, these guys already transmitted in HD. And these guys tried to, on 486 server style things, to transmit video data was absolutely not possible through these machines in Linux with low-end assembly language plugins and stuff, and you name it. And I have a PDF, I think I would not find it quickly, but it was about 25 pages showing how to run a live conference of this organization. And they had about 25 spectators, and the organizer of that had a PC who made the PC a mixing pult for 4 different cameras, and he even had time and resources for a 5th to put the 5th camera to the entrance and filmed when the people arrived. And all of that was live mixed, live recorded, at the same time on a single 486 PC with about 133 megahertz or something like that.
How much is the money involved? What is the budget?
It was a self-built system, €0. You just assemble it with hard work and test, and it's Linux open source software. It costed nothing. The technical problem is, do you write the 2,000 lines of assembly language to make it on a low-level machine which can barely cope with a single stream? Today we don't have that problem. So when I open a Mac M1, I can make 100 streams parallel with no problem over a 1.6 gigabit per second, faster than the LAN cable Wi-Fi connection. So today we don't have these problems. We buy in the App Store an app for cutting, and for streaming we open the ports, we connect our local laptops remotely by Wi-Fi or by cable or by frame grabber or by whatever to that machine, and here we go. The problem is, if we do that, then I would have to do that because Christopher seems not wanting to do that. But this is what I had assumed. So when we go with Christopher's, we have to go with his meaning, his solution, his whatever. And
yes,
as I understood him, I have to present on his PC. Or is it
yes.
And
our solution, your problem.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
the following. Okay, let me tell you as a chairman then of the conference, the following is what we are going to do. We are going to start saying that what we have practically is this live stream. And unfortunately, even if it is not completely professional, this is what the first thing we will do. Now, the next one is if we are able to do the next one, like what you are saying, the live stream with all the scanning and following the presenter and all those things. If these are possible, that's number two aspect. So we always fall back on this one. It's a fallback solution. We always fall back. Nothing else works. Something else better works. Yes, well and good. So there will be more and more functional.
Completely agree. All I said, we need a day, even possibly a whole weekend before the conference, where I expected that you or at least Christopher and me sit there virtually, discuss 8 to 10 hours the things which I try to download, what he had in mind, and until that works, if I would be sitting already in the hotel. Because this is what we need to do. We need to run a live test of the technology. We cannot assume we go to the hotel and hope next day it works. That would be completely naive.
So let's start doing next week. And by 24th, we should really run a test run. You know, the final test run of that.
I would say 2 weeks before the conference should be the final run, possibly to be repeated a day before the flight or something, that everything has not changed since then. Often 2 weeks ago something works and 2 weeks later it doesn't work again. I've seen that over and over. So let's be as much as careful as possible, please. I don't want to argue around, but I have seen too much technical failures of that kind in my life. I cannot ignore it, really. I can't.
Yeah. So what I can say is that next week we will start. We'll start testing it. You know, the first test we'll give, and that following week we'll do the final testing, the final thing what we are able to do. That
we need a minimum graphics from Christopher, 1 A4 page, hand drawn or not, irrelevant. What he planned to do.
But he must say,
when we see the final graphics from him, we can say, have you thought about this? How are you doing this? What is with the detail when Emmanuel comes in? What buttons do you press? What do you switch with? So I'm not at all sure he has fully thought that through.
But his presence is necessary next time from Christopher.
Well, I don't know whether he'll be. He said he's too busy with the PhD. We'll see. But the thing is that the way I am going to do is the default condition is this one. Okay, so we'll go with this live stream.
Yeah, of course.
Emmanuel can come.
What would be our alternative? Do we have another alternative? I don't see it. Do you know of any other streaming software except StreamYard which would make it easy to hook 5 iPhone cameras to the server and just pay €100 per day or something? I don't even know about such a solution. I'm not an expert in this area. So
no, this is the default condition. Whatever we are doing, we just transfer it. We do it there. Okay, that's a default condition. Now, if something better, if more professional thing, yes, we'll test that. So next week onwards, we'll start testing that, and we'll make the final decision on 24th. TEGS meeting. That's the final thing, and then we go there 29th, and then see. You know, we come up with 2 options, depending on what is there. The 2 options we'll test on the 29th and see and talk with the hotel, and then see what the boomer can do, how we can attach it, things like that. That's the final decision. But 24th is when we decide what we do. Okay. So next week we'll test that. The following week, which is the 17th, we will run, a dry run of the whole thing, and then we'll decide what path we take. Suppose we have 2 options, we'll stick with that, and then 24th we'll say, okay, this is the first option, and then
I'm flying with Gerd at 28th already, so there are 3 weekends with 1 Saturday, but of course we could include also the Sunday if we are not happy with the Saturday, and this would give us 6 possible events.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about
as a
Sunday.
backup at least.
Possible, but I don't know whether, we'll say we have only these options, like 3 weeks now. Next Saturday, 10th, 17th, and also the 24th. So the 24th is, we should assume that 24th is the final thing before we do conference.
And it would also be good when Emmanuel and others who present join at this day at the next weekend to please write something that all join, that we see how the system reacts when 11 people are in the meeting or 10 people are in the meeting. We need to really see all that before the conference. These people need to appear here when they present.
I don't know whether they will come 24th, they may come 17th, they may come. I don't think they will come. I don't know whether they'll come next week.
They cannot expect that they sit on the 29th or the 30th and everything is prepared fishy in for them with not having ever tested their local sending transmission abilities at any time before. This is just an absolute no-go, because
no, live stream we know.
It wouldn't work like that.
No, live stream, this one works with Emmanuel. Emmanuel has come before. It's okay.
You don't know if it's okay if it's more than 5, for example. You really don't know that.
Yeah, only there when we go, we know actually. So 29th, unfortunately, we have to try.
But we agree on 29th is not the testing day, please, okay?
Yeah. No, our thing, we ourselves, we test everything. And then Emmanuel, it depends on that day. The Greek from Greece, can we do it to the Budapest?
Is it really that difficult to have a live premiere testing, sitting half an hour here with everyone giving a short video audio quality presentation from his actual standpoint where he would sit? If the light is okay from the position where you would sit and present, it's in the best interest of the presenters that they get tested also for 5 minutes at least in a live session at a Saturday before. This is not optional in my point. Not at all.
Now, I'll send out when we get the link, I'll send out the link to even Dr. Kudrile. He's only going to present, before the panel. So, but I'll send to Emmanuel that whether he can come next week. I will send a email, when I send the link, that, we are going to test. In the email also, I will say we are going to test, in our link, I will say we are going to test our presentation for the conference. So that it's not a t-shirt or anything now. T-shirt is done. Last row you have that. Monday you start. We start with that. And then next week I'm going to put in that thing that we are testing for our, we are practicing for practice testing for our conference, how the StreamYard works, how the whole process, IT technical process works. So everybody should be present there, so that they can present and do the presentation and see whether how it works for the actual conference. So next week we are going to do
that we have now a really capable room with Wi-Fi and beamer and everything, and this is just a sideshow, because when we present, the beamer is only a secondary event to the presentation. This is really a bit sad. So it's not the same than a streaming conference with a stage. By having the decision to use the StreamYard software on a single PC as a main streaming entity, what you effectively did, Raja, you removed the stage. You removed the stage. This is what you did. You removed in a hotel from in front of a beamer presentation wall by going back to the smallest, cheapest, easiest to handle, seemingly whatever technology, and that removes a 50% feeling of being at a conference already, from my point of view.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the large budget to spend $2,000.
This is not a budget problem. If I said before, I want a technical solution, and when the technical solution would have costed 6,000 euros, I said, oh, sorry, then I can't help. If the technical solution would have costed 600 euros, I would say, okay, order it, I pay. But we didn't even try to do that. And this is what I think was not really a good
Yeah,
idea.
I thought you had some technology. I didn't know that.
Multiple times I offered to pay the clipping and the sending and transmission equipment, and I expressed this when Christopher was still in the meeting, to please make him aware what he wants to do and order the equipment he needs and make a list, and I search for that we can buy that what we need. And I never got an answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, those things are, whatever technology you have, you can try that. But I would say this is our default thing, the live stream, because you are not sure what you have, but you can try it there, 29, and if it works, fine. Otherwise, we'll go with this one. That's it. These are the only two options.
Yeah, this is always good to have a plan which might always work, but being without even having tried a better alternative is a little bit sad one.
Yeah, but the alternative, see, the problem is you are not being able to, because you are on vacation, other things, so many things happen, and now Christopher is not able to come, so we have to do what
we knew it would be difficult, but that's why we have discussed it already 3 months ago. You can go back and watch my question on one of the TEGS meetings. It was 3 months ago.
Yeah, we had so many things. I mean, first of all, we had to do the scheduling. Now everything is there. So I mean, one by one, we are doing the first one. So
I truly helped as much as I could with the hotel organization, the pricing, and it took me a lot.
Yeah, that itself was a big thing.
The hotel, the billing to the hotel, everything. I put a lot of investment of my point.
Yeah.
Time and
so that itself.
I expected a little bit coming against a thing which is a reasonable argument of mine to see what a professional live streaming equipment at least is. I'm not saying we order that, nor I said we use that, but a small look would have been nice.
I mean, whatever you have, you try, Christian, that's all I can say. But we are going to go with this default thing because we cannot be sure what technology you have, what technology, only when we go there, what technology they have, the NH hotel, what exactly the boomer can do, things like that. We don't know what equipment. Do they have additional things for conference?
Yeah, but honestly, I'm just a little bit concerned because we could have with this decision choose a super cheap hotel, sit somewhere wherever we are, don't need a common conference room of any special kind. There wouldn't even be a beamer necessary or anything, and it would be from the technical outcome, from the presentation recording point of view, exactly the same. It wouldn't matter if there is a beamer in the room. It wouldn't matter if there is a certain table arrangement in the room. It wouldn't matter if there is a lunch break or not. It would not matter. We could have done it really completely different then.
No, that's what originally we were planning. Myself and the first planning with Christopher was, from our hotel room, we do everything.
Rajan, we were seeking specifically with your agreement a room with a beamer and a room with a presentation.
Yeah. Now it's fine. Because I don't think it's not that bad because we got fairly good deal.
It is that bad from my point of view because we have now a stage, and by your decision you remove the stage from the presentation.
Well, because we have to do with practically what is possible, right?
Yeah, then we could have ordered a much cheaper hotel, for example, just as an example.
Yeah, I mean, right now we get 10 rooms that day, and then the conference itself is not expensive. So it is affordable for us. See, the first
it is affordable for us, and while we are at it, I will send you the bills until the next week when I'm able to do them for about your share of the hotel price, that you see that it is indeed affordable, but nevertheless it's about 500 euros from each of you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I will finish now. I will call you. We can speak about.
Yeah, it's already long. I have to quit now, really.
Yes. Goodbye.
Okay. So anyway, we are the default thing. I mean, whatever is practically possible, we do. So we have to have a solution, and this is one of the solutions. But if it is anything better, professional, we can go with that. That's all.
I have no time to support you with a better solution because I have done everything I could in the past already. And if Christopher has not the time to do, or you have not the time to do a better solution, then we will have to live with what we have.
Okay.
I just concretely tell you I'm not happy with that.
Yeah. The only thing is that we can record with the boomer. We cannot do live stream, but we can do this this live stream with the boomer, and then we can record the whole thing of the conference with another camera. And
you cannot switch positions. You cannot switch. You are very, very inflexible of what you can do with the camera presentations. Yes.
Yeah, that's all we can do. And that camera may not be live, but that record for the conference. And later on, we can always put it on this one or any other television. Anybody needs that, we'll just, lot of conference do that. They don't necessarily do live stream. Sometimes what they do is what is done, and they'll just put on the record of this conference, Budapest conference, or whatever conference occurred, and they'll just put that, and we can do that. So it will still be quite official in that, from that point. There are many ways of doing the official things. The conference, yeah. No, not one way, many different ways.
It was an initial decision of everybody to have a live conference, and live is not recorded and cut.
No, live only in this one. Like this can be considered a live conference. The only thing is that we are doing it on a larger screen, and that's still live. But to do like live stream like a television, that's a different matter altogether. You see that a television conference, totally different thing. And at present we are not sure whether we can do any of that in this conference. But it's a starting conference. It's just the initial conference. So,
I'm happy to meet you all in person, but I have to focus my presentation on the technology available in this presentation, and I cannot be surprised by things I can do or not do, like walk in front of a stage or whatever. So this is
we have to
beforehand, of course. Yeah.
We have to take a rain check on that, in the sense that we have to do in the next conference, Munich or New Zealand, whatever be a conference. That time we can do that. We can try getting your, the television conference.
It is a matter of having someone with expertise and time to do it.
Yeah.
That is not a technical problem. It's just a matter of organization. So if you don't be able to organize a cameraman or a cutter or whatever.
No. We cannot do that in this conference. Right now, we don't have that. Whatever, we have to go with that. That's in this conference, the first conference, we don't have that. The subsequent conference, that will give us, once this is done, we have something to fall back on. And then that's how we build up,
I forgot to ask another very important question, which I asked already a month ago. And is that, Christopher, please finally states, as we have a donate button, I have donated 100 euros. Who else has donated anything to the donate button? Who else has registered for the conference? Who else is currently on the list? Or are the people on the current webpage are the only known ones, which are also all speakers, and not a single person has actively registered, despite all our effort in ResearchGate to push the link, and people have looked at the link? Do we have web statistics from the links? Who has looked on the links? How many impressions does it have? How many people have looked on the website? These are all the questions which I really would be interested to know. And only Christopher knows, because it is his system set up, and he's the only one able to look into the behind the curtain things. And I can only ask you, please, to forward him a mail to give us this information finally.
Yes. Yeah. So that's something he will, hopefully he'll be able to come one of these conference, before the actual conference, he'll be able to come here and test the thing. But right now, Christopher, the default condition is we do the same thing we do here, there. Okay. This is something we can do. As long as Wi-Fi is there, we can do this. The next one, the next option, depends on what is available, what technology you have, what technology the NH hotel has. It all depends on that. But we should. That's all. That's the decision.
Just go ahead, make the invitations for the next weekend, and hope that all who are presenting as much as possible would be able to join. And see you next weekend.
Okay. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.
Have a nice weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Hi, Laszlo. So, can you hear? Laszlo? Can you hear? Is your thing working? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Uh, Anyway, I think we'll stop that. We had little bit of technical difficulties, but we are, some of the our associates had problem with their internet. This is an ongoing thing. So we have to, we have to work it out, and then whatever is possible. But we have discussed important things about the T-shirt, and that's final. So this is the last one that we are going to discuss, and Laszlo is going to go ahead and order the T-shirts, the samples, and then after that, we have every week, and this is important. We are going to do a practice testing, and we will each of us will be presenting that and test the IT, the technical aspects that Christian also is emphasizing on. Okay. Conference. Yeah, we close the text now. So that's the idea. So next few weeks we are going to do the conference presentation with the testing, and then so that we'll be prepared, because we have hybrid, both in live presentation as well as the hybrid with this virtual. So people are streaming from elsewhere. So I think the first option, like I mentioned, is this live stream. We will do the same thing at the conference, but we are planning to upgrade it, hopefully, with more professional things where we can actually have interaction between the speaker and the audience, and the speaker themselves can interactively connect with the presentation mode. The actual slides we can present, and we'll feel like we are in the live conference. So to do that, it takes a lot of additional technical things that Christian also mentioned. Whether we can do in this conference, we don't know. But we are just starting out. So, yeah. So we will try our best, but it is a really good, starting point for our conference. Subsequent conference, we may have television conference, things like that, but that is okay. So we can do that, and then okay, we'll proceed with what Laszlo has. Okay, here design and the first batch. Okay, the first batch of T-shirts. Okay, so we are doing that, and so we have many different agenda here, but we have a lot of idealism also. But what is practical, we have to go with that, and that I think that's what we are deciding. I think we have come to a decision that next week onwards we are going to start testing the possibilities, and then okay. So the last row is here again. Can you hear now? Can you hear? Can you hear? Okay. So I think Laszlo has problem with audio. These are all, any technical thing, we know that it happens always. There's technical problems. Everything don't go perfectly all the time. That's something we have to expect. There's always a gray area. I call it at least a 20% gray area where we have this problem. And so we will try to, resolve one by one. And that's part of the thing. I mean, we are like physics. Centuries we are doing it, and we are not come to any particular solution to that problem. Quantum gravity seems to be the best one. And that's one of the aspects in the conference itself. We are going back to a blackboard in some sense and figuring out, because there's too much math, nobody is able to grapple what is real, what is just like a story. So we have to distinguish that, and we are trying to come up with a practical. I think we have come a long way, and this conference shows that. And we will, continue doing that. And it's the same with technology, Indeed now. So that's the main thing. Hello?
Do you hear me?
Yes. So, Laszlo, I think you have a problem.
I don't see you.
Huh?
Okay. Tomorrow we have to finish the design because I want to give to the child to make something because he's talented in designing.
Okay. So what we have now, you can use it. You can use the one we have. The one.
Use Christopher.
Yes.
The design and all, and I will make minimum 2 or 3 types
Okay.
of design.
Yes.
And tomorrow evening we will discuss about it. What is good. Perhaps we will use all from
Yes. That's
one problem. Right? We have one problem because the time is very short.
Yes.
And I don't have copy from each color the number. Only I have bought the one series of the site.
Yes.
And now the time is not enough for to have all from what number you need. We will use all colors.
Yes.
And I think that is not will be a problem.
No. The first batch you can do that.
That's not a problem.
No problem.
All color is good.
Yes.
All color is good. If I have problem with the colors, I have more signs in black and white, and I will use black and white, and will be not a problem.
Okay, so
I think, and excuse me, and I think that the presentation is good. How you mentioned that is not needs to be very complicated.
Yes.
It can be resolved very simple way.
Yes. So we have option like this. The way we are doing it, we'll do the same thing there. That's the first option. Then if Christian or Christopher has better technical things, yeah, we can do that. We can upgrade it. That's why I see it, upgrading it. What we have, we start with that. Then we can upgrade it once we go there, we can upgrade it depending on what is there. I think that's the best solution, right? Yeah.
What have I need to write something to the director of the what we have to make for him because we somewhat we have to have his company too, but he don't like to come to us, but minimum he has answered for us.
No, he said that. He said in your letter it says that he'll be in Transylvania. Transylvania when we are at the conference, he's in Transylvania. That's what it. Yes,
but that is not the problem because he offered his help for us.
Okay.
In the